of logic, yes, they don't float in the middle of space or
So
exist.
they
We have
are
thought them up, and they
abstractions
exist because
dependent
of
upon a
us.
mind.
Logic is dependent upon a mind. It wouldn't exist, or at least we would not know of it without our mind.
Are you familiar with the fact that the
It's
laws
something
of
we choose
logic
to
are also...
value.
I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of lag here. I'm not meaning to walk on you. Are
Oh,
you
don't worry
familiar
about
with
it.
the... I'm doing it again, I guess, because my connection keeps fading in and out. I see the little green bar going back and forth. Anyway, are you familiar with the laws of logic being also known as the laws of thought?
No, but that makes enough sense.
Okay, so the laws of logic are dependent upon a mind. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Located a bomb.
So, how could that be the mind of man if the laws of logic are eternal, universal, and
10
unchanging?
seconds to go.
I think, actually, I want to take back. I don't think they're any more eternal than any other thought we have. I mean, I
So
can
the
think
laws
of
of
whatever I
logic are
want.
not eternal?
No, I don't think they are, actually. I think they exist only
Okay,
within
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Was there a time when the universe both existed and did not exist at the same time in the same relationship?
No, that can't be possible.
Then that proves that the law of non-contradiction is eternal.
It's eternal in a scope, but it's not eternal that it will always exist. If there's no brain to recognize such a thing, it doesn't exist. Actually, no, I take that. That's not true. That's not true at all.
So, again, the laws of logic are dependent upon a mind. I would agree with you on that. They're dependent upon the absolute, eternal, universal, unchanging mind of God.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind if I
Certainly. You just did. Would you like another?
We were talking about the uniformity of nature and logic in general. So my logical conclusion, which you don't accept, is that I accept the uniformity of nature, and then I make my truth claims, which are 99.99% accurate. So yours, which seems to differ from mine, is you do what I do, and then you have your higher authority, and you believe that that gets you the conclusion with 100% certainty. I would like to ask, on what grounds do you believe that higher authority? What makes that a valid premise?
Well, because without God, not just any God, the God of the Bible, Jesus Christ, you have no basis for truth or logic. I just pointed this out to you, sir.
But a basis for truth and logic is just something we want.
Eternal attributes of the living God. And without these eternal attributes of the living God, which I've mentioned again in Romans, that God has made you aware of, because he wants you to know not only that he exists, but he makes you use these attributes every moment of every day, even in your thought life. You cannot escape the laws of logic. They are unavoidably necessary.
Which God does that for me?
There is only one God, sir. There's the God that is the true, perfect, eternal being, and then there is no other.
Which one would that be? Because I've seen quite a few books out there about many.
So is it fucking Yahweh?
Sorry.
Or Allah?
Sir, when we're talking about God, we're talking about the God of the Bible. We're talking about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. You know what? The Bible says that God's word is truth. And you know what? Without Jesus Christ, you have no wisdom or knowledge. Colossians chapter 2 says, hidden in Christ are all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge.
Well, why can Christ give you that knowledge and not Allah or Buddha or Krishna?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Allah is the same God.
Do not exist.
Well, how do you know that? How do you know Jesus is the one that exists?
Well, sir, let me ask you a question. Are you trying to use logic to determine if Jesus exists?
I'm simply asking you a question.
And I'm asking you a question about logic, sir. Are you using logic?
I am using logic.
Oh, great. So let's go ahead and go back and find out why logic works. Where does logic originate in your worldview, sir?
Allah, the one and only God.
So you're saying, sir, you've actually changed your position from atheist to deist because you can't make sense of why logic exists.
No, I've converted to Islam, actually. I became a Muslim 2 seconds ago, and now I have perfect logic.
Exactly.
No, I'd like an answer, honestly. Why is it
Repent or
Jesus
perish,
and not
sir.
Allah?
Where do the laws of logic come from in your worldview, sir?
The laws of logic, they just exist. They're just part of our nature, and the laws of logic
And
only...
that Corvette, 2018 Corvette in your driveway, that just exists. It just happened. You know, no cause needed, no contingency needed.
Nothing built logic. It's not a structure. It's just a thing that exists. It's like
Social
truth or
Let's
fact
see.
or
How do you,
idea or
are you saying
imagination.
there's anything outside of the physical realm, sir? Do you believe that there is a
There
creator
is.
God?
There's no God, but there are things outside of the physical realm. I'd really like
How
to
do you
get back to
account
my
for
question.
anything outside of the physical realm without God, sir?
I'm sorry?
How do you account for anything outside of the physical realm without God?
Well, things like thoughts and logic.
Yes, sir. These are abstractions. Do you know logic are abstractions? The laws of logic are laws
Sure.
of thought, and
They're
they are
mental
mind
constructs that have
dependent.
arisen
They're
through
dependent upon the
processes in our
eternal,
brain.
universal, unchanging, invariant, transcendent God.
May I ask something real quick? And I'm really enjoying the conversation there, Hillbilly, Mr. Jesse. But Jesse, I could have swore I heard you say earlier that one, you were an atheist, and two, you just say that your thoughts were not of the physical?
My thoughts are not inherently physical, as they can't be felt or anything. They are mental things, mental creations.
You don't believe that you do believe that it's a physical result, or are they immaterial?
They're a result of a physical reaction in my brain, but they are not material.
Okay, continue on, Hillbilly. I was just curious what
Sure.
Jesse was saying now.
But that's
Okay.
my
So
problem.
on that answer, though, so your consciousness, the thing that resembles a consciousness, that is simply a chemical reaction in the meat capsule of a brain?
Yes, it is.
And how do you know anything that you're thinking is true?
I don't. I've told you that.
How do you know? I have asked that before.
How do I? Because I'm listening to you. My senses. I trust my senses.
In the hallway. In the hallway.
Wait, okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
The fallaciousness of your argument.
Can you answer my question this
don't.
time? Why is it?
Come into B. He's at the door.
I
got a
wish you would
frog
answer
right
my
Hold
question.
on,
Why is it
Hillbilly,
Jesus and
Hillbilly.
not Allah or Krishna or Buddha
Hillbilly.
or anything?
I answered the
Hillbilly,
question,
did
sir,
you
because
realize
they don't
that,
exist. There's only one God that exists, and it's the God of the Bible. Okay, go ahead and
Hillbilly.
ask your
Why?
question there,
Hillbilly.
Tyrannosaurus.
You do realize that Arab Christians still refer to God as Allah, right?
Well, sir, if they're speaking in their native language and they're calling the God that is Allah, yes, then that's fine. But if they're referring to the God of the Quran, the God of Muhammad, the pervert prophet, then, sir, then that would be a false God.
How do you know?
Wait, okay. What about the Jewish God? Because those are all they all. Okay, so you know that Muslims.
I'm more interested in what you believe. What do you believe, sir?
I don't know. I don't really have a faith.
Really? Is that true? You don't have a faith?
Yeah.
So you just believe anything that comes down the street?
I believe anything with enough evidence. Like, okay, so if God were just like appearing from me and was like, "Boo, motherfucker, I'm real,"
Sir,
Even
why do you
then.
have to use foul language?
why not? Is there a reason why I can't?
Well, let me ask you, sir. What basis does it convey, or to me, what data does it convey to use foul language like that?
It increases like the impact of it, but I mean, if you really don't want me to use it, then I won't use it.
Thank you, sir. I would appreciate that.
Holy shit, civil discourse.
Well, it's still early. I could tell you to repent or perish right now if you like.
No thanks. I mean, I have Christian friends and mentors, and okay, one of them. Oh shit! Oh no, never mind. I'm just playing a game right now.
What do you believe about how we got here, sir? Are we the products of special creation or evolution?
Evolution through natural selection.
Well, Mister, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Now, this shows me quite a bit. That
I'm just multitasking, so it's.
There's a lot of atheists like this young man here, the Tyrannosaurus or whatever you call himself. You obviously don't understand what evolution is trying to describe for you. Evolution just simply talks about the time and changes all this. This has nothing to do with the origin of the life, whether you believe evolution is true and that you came from the monkey. The question he's going at is an origin question. You understand that, Tyrannosaurus?
Yeah.
Okay, you do realize that evolution has nothing to do with the origin of existence in life. It's simply talking about the changes over time, right?
I'm aware. Evolution through natural selection. I mean, I never claimed to know the origin, but...
What is do you have any kind of opinion at least, or a theory on it? Can you offer up some kind of
it's
alternative?
Probably some sort of, like... I'm guessing it stemmed from sort of complex carbon molecule. That's my guess as an atheist.
Which one would this be? What is the name of it?
No idea, because I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Can you give me some kind of a few elements of the recipe of life? That way I can put it in a bucket, stir it up, and make my own people? What do you got for me?
It doesn't work that way.
It does, and I thought don't you think that chemicals mix together and that's somehow how you're sitting there cussing at a video game?
No, because it takes... you don't just make a complex life form like that. I mean, I'm no scientist, but that's just my guess.
Okay, so chemicals don't just slap together and voila, here we are. That's not the way it works.
And, to Hillbilly, you still there? Hillbilly?
Yes, sir.
I would be completely willing to convert to Christianity, but basically strong-arming me is, like, the way not to do it.
You feel like Hillbilly's put you in some mental, psychological block, and he's, like, giving you...
No, he's just like, repent now, you can't swear, man.
Actually, Tyrannosaurus, that's a lie. Because you simply repress and suppress the truth in your unrighteousness. You'd rather hold on to the lie than walk in the truth. I can empirically prove God to you,
I
sir.
didn't fucking know who Jesus Christ was until I was 7 years old.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question, sir. If God has already shown himself to you,
he hasn't.
What evidence can I give you to prove to you that God is?
He hasn't.
Actually, he has. It says in Romans chapter 1, starting at verse 18, it says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven." That's revelation directly from God against all ungodliness and wickedness of men.
Where did he do that? Where did he do that? What point in my life did he do that?
Done this since the very beginning, because you're using logic to have this discussion. These are the attributes of the living God. For his divine nature and his eternal attributes, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made.
Okay, is there a way you can convince me without using quotes from the book?
I'm not quite done. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
The world around us that we observe makes perfect sense according to the Christian worldview. And every other worldview that stands against the truth will fall, because truth by its very nature is exclusive.
Now, Hillbilly, Mr. Tyrannosaurus, he said to you just a moment ago, he said, can you tell me the truth without actually using the book? If I were to go into a science classroom right now and say, can you give me the science without showing me a book or where you got this information from, I would probably get slapped in the mouth. He'd probably think I was absolutely out of my mind if I said, give me the science, but don't give me any information from...
Exactly.
No,
a better way to word that would be, give me the science without providing me the data.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but
Okay,
we were
but
talking
there's
earlier, and I think until Christian Hillbilly can prove that second premise of having divine authority, I don't think he has any right to logic than any of the rest of us do.
Well, then what's your divine right to logic, sir? I've already shown you that without the God of the Bible, and only the God of the Bible makes sense of logic, truth, mathematics, science, physics. Oh, we could go on.
Now, Jesse, I talked to you. Jesse, I talked to you for like an hour and a half, according to the video I have up on my YouTube channel. Had a very nice, respectful conversation. I think we're doing good now, but I've noticed that you do realize that I've repeatedly asked you to give me some kind of alternative, give me other scientific reasons why I should assert that God isn't behind it. You're not giving anything. Hell, you can't even explain to me why true is true. And
there doesn't need to be an alternative.
There doesn't need to be. We're just supposed to suggest that we're just nothing more than developed monkey chemicals.
It's not necessary. Just how morality would be nice, truth would be nice, but that doesn't mean it exists necessarily for us.
The truth doesn't exist.
In a certain way we can perceive. No, it doesn't have to. Just because it would be a nice thing doesn't mean it has to exist.
So when you assert that God doesn't exist, this isn't a true statement. You're intentionally lying to me then.
I didn't assert that.
But you just said that nothing's true. So by you asserting that God doesn't exist, which you said earlier, if you want to play back the recording, you are lying to us if that is actually what you believe.
Well, you could say I'm lying when I make any truth claim, but we act with uncertainty. And we say when we 99.9% believe something, we're usually free to say it, and we don't consider that lying in our culture.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
I don't want to make you feel like an asshole in this process, but you say that there's no absolute truth and everything's subjective, and you can't turn around the same sentence and absolutely say that God doesn't exist. You make yourself look like a buffoon, and I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm just saying work on it, all right, Jesse?
No, it's a semantical thing. When I make a truth statement, realize it's with 99.99% accuracy, and that's really what all of us do. You don't know something for certain. That's how we use it. And like I said, still, no one has any higher claim to logic right now until they can prove that second premise of a divine
right. Is that absolutely true? Is that
absolutely you have no right to use that logic, I'm afraid, because you can't justify it. So I'm sorry, but I can't answer that.
Is that absolutely true?
Well, I can't answer that question. You're trying to use logic, and you don't have any right to.
Oh, sir, but we all have the right to logic because God has revealed himself to all creatures.
I need you to prove that premise.
You have no explanation. I'm telling you right now that the reason you can use logic and I can use logic is because of the revelation of the Creator God.
If you
now,
can
I
prove
don't know
that
why
premise,
you have a problem with understanding it.
Gentlemen, listen, I want to be able to hear every one of your opinions or your views, but please do not continuously cut each other off. When you do that, it makes all your voices all boggled up. Welcome to the room there, Darth Dawkins. I hope that you've had a wonderful Christmas and enjoy the discussion. I am going to mute my mic and let you guys continue to talk because I am enjoying the conversation. I would like to see somewhere besides circular logic and over. I want to hear some alternatives. I'm open-minded.
We may be close to stuck, but let's see if we can get there.
All right, continue on, guys.
Sure.
Nice to hear your voice again, Brett.
Nice to hear you as well. I hope that you're feeling okay. You sound like you got a little bit of a cold. But continue on, guys. Continue on, guys. I want to hear you all, and I think that Dawkins would love this conversation as well about the uniformity of that.
Before you guys jump in, Jesse 440, could you just basically tell me what your worldview is?
Sure. Yeah, I'm an atheist. We've been talking about it here for a little bit now, but I'll let you know.
No. I don't want to stop you. I just want to know where you're coming from.
Oh, sure. Well, that's my belief. I'm going to pick up right where I left off with Christian here, if you don't mind. We were talking about who has the right to use logic, because I trust my senses and I rely on them, and I know they don't give me pure certainty. I'm okay with that. He claims, using logic, that he can use his senses and divine authority to get certainty, and I think he has to prove that divine authority is valid until he can do so.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but you're using the wrong terminology. It's not divine authority. It's divine revelation.
Well, that's
fine. You mind if I jump in, Hellbilly?
Is someone talking?
Go ahead.
Now, Jesse, both Christian Hillbilly and I were fundamentalist Christians, and our ultimate commitment, our ultimate authority is the God of the Bible and His revelation. Now, since you reject that, what is your ultimate commitment and ultimate authority?
I don't have it.
Well, then, therefore, why should we pay attention to any affirmation that you make?
You don't have to. I'm not asking you to.
No, I didn't. No, that response really was a non sequitur. I said, why should we pay attention to anything that you assert? I didn't suggest to you that we have to. Well, then why? Then why are you speaking assertions or affirmations?
Because I can. Because I think I have every right to just as much as you, and you have no reason to do so.
When you say right, a right presupposes a statutory basis with an authority enforcement mechanism.
Well, I'm using it loosely. I'm sorry. I'm not using it.
So nobody's objecting that you can open up your mouth and vocalize. The question is, why should we pay heed to the content of what you're vocalizing? Why?
Maybe you shouldn't, but I mean, you guys are going to do it, so.
Do you have a reason?
My content's no more valuable than anyone else's.
Okay, then therefore, if somebody comes along and is just doing random rap words, that's just as substantive as what you're saying?
Well, of course not, but I have no divine claim.
Well, wait a minute. You just contradicted yourself.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You just said that you basically conveyed. Hold on 1 second. I got a phone call.
Sure.
5 seconds and counting.
All right. So he's going to take care of that as soon as he gets back. We're going to try to let this back into the conversation. Hillbilly, you still with us as well?
Absolutely. I invited a friend, Dr. B-Man. Welcome to the room.
Hey, Dr. B-Man. Welcome to the room. Is Dr. B-Man a pretty cool person?
Well, I don't know. That's yet to be seen. No, he's all right.
He's all right.
Dumbass troll.
He's all right.
Marshy, I do have to ask you while we're waiting for Mr. Dr. B-Man. Marshy, if I were to make you a mod, do you think you'd be able to handle it? I've talked to you a few times. You've shown yourself to be pretty considerate and control of your faculties. I think you can handle the power.
Is this for the stream or for the server?
I think that we'd probably do it for this room in here first, and if I think that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm a mod, Brett.
Yeah, it's no problem. Let me go ahead and make Mr. Marshy. You are also going to be God mod.
Sweet.
If, however, people come to me and they complain and say that you've been, pulling out the bullwhip on people, I'm pissed. All right, Darth Dawkins, Hillbilly, please continue. I'm going to mute the mic. I've already ran my mouth long enough today. I'm going to take a break of it. Go ahead, guys.
Before we start, I'm sorry, does anyone know Dumbass Troll? Is that a real person?
Where do you see Dumbass Troll at?
Is a guy who joined the chat
room.
Oh, I don't see somebody. Oh, yeah, I think that I gave them that special name. I'm able to change the name of people, and that person just like Dumbass Troll would go for it. I'll give Dumbass Troll the opportunity to open up their mouth and accept whatever nonsense, but if they bug me, then you guys go ahead and take care of that problem, all right?
This can be good.
Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome. All right, let me go ahead and mute my mic.
But I'm gonna mute myself.
Last stop standing.
Merry Christmas, boys and girls. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
When you did that, I jumped a little bit and got scared.
Friendly's victorious.
You ever heard the Christmas carol, Hark the Herald Angels Sing?
I think
No,
so.
I hate Christmas carols.
Oh, I love them, especially that one. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to
I know that one.
the newborn King.
Okay, so Jesse, you're an atheist. Is your atheism the kind that denies the existence of a creator God, or is it just a lack of belief?
It would be a lack of belief.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a position.
Well, it's a form of agnostic atheism, but...
Now, atheism is the denial of the existence of God. Agnosticism is the position that one does not know whether God does or does not exist.
I don't care for the word agnosticism, because it... how do I want to put this? It implies that there's almost a 50-50 chance. And the definition of atheism here, I've just...
No, that's it. That's incorrect. That is incorrect. Agnosticism does not say there is a 50-50 chance of God existing.
That's how people like to use it. And
No,
anyhow, I will call myself...
that is not how agnosticism is defined in the reference works.
That's all right. Well, atheism here is defined as disbelief
agnosticism
or lack of belief.
Agnosticism is either hard or soft. Hard agnosticism maintains that it is impossible to know anything about a creator God. Soft agnosticism, which is the more common usage of it, is that one does not know whether God does exist or does not exist. It's not a probabilistic assessment. It's a binary situation, not a probabilistic assessment.
Well, the definition of atheism here says disbelief or lack of belief in the existence of God or gods, and I'm happy to go with that definition.
Right.
And run with it.
But okay, good. So you're not an atheist who denies the existence of God. Now, is there a reason why you don't believe in God?
Lack of evidence.
Oh, okay. So if God would be the ultimate core belief about the nature of existence, would it not?
If you believe such a thing, it might be.
No, if God, by definition, a creator God who creates all the universe, would by definition be the ultimate nature of existence, right?
If there was such a thing, yes.
That's right, right. So you withhold belief in such an ultimate nature of reality, which would be God, as opposed to some other.
Christian actually just went through this.
So your criterion for belief in the ultimate nature of things, namely God, is you require evidence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. The reason why I'm asking the questions is I want to see if you have a coherent and consistent criterion, or whether your criterion would be arbitrary. Now, if your criterion,
uniformity of nature, because we were just
if your criterion is an arbitrary one, would that be rational?
No, it wouldn't. May I go through my position on the uniformity of nature?
Sure. Yeah. I'll be done in a second. Okay.
Sure.
So you are telling us that you have a consistent criterion that you require evidence or justification for what the ultimate nature of reality would be, and in this case, it would be God.
Now, I do have an exception, and I think we all do, and I am going to make that case.
Okay. Do you other than, since you have a lack of belief in God, do you have a conceptualization or a belief as to what the ultimate nature of reality is?
I think it's unattainable for me. I'm trapped within my own perspective.
Okay, so if you don't know what the ultimate nature of reality is, then how can you lay down that anything is up, down, good, bad, logic, reason? How are you able to do so?
Well, when I make truth claims like I am here, I do them with 99.9% certainty, and I will just go right into the idea of senses, because that's where we're headed.
Okay, but you don't know the nature of reality. Since you don't know what the nature of reality is, how would you know that your sense perception had any foundation at all?
That's right where I'm headed. That is my one thing I rely on. It is. I trust my sense perceptions without evidence. Which, let me continue, because I know where you're going to stop me here. But I think you do too, and I think everyone else in here does. And when we look at it as a logical chain, it goes that we trust sense perceptions. I take 99.9% truth claims. That's what I do. Your approach is that you use those sense perceptions and your Christian worldview to filter through, and you believe you get certainty. Now, in order to get that certainty and to make any logical argument against me, like I was talking about Hillbilly, you need to prove that that second premise is valid and that the Christian worldview is accurate in order to make those claims.
Okay, so you maintain that you have a basic reliability of your sense perception. Does sense perception require the principle or law of causality?
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
No, okay, well, first of all, that's false. It does matter, and it is relevant. Because
why does it matter?
I'll explain it to you. Okay, saying that it is irrelevant and it doesn't matter is actually a dodge. Now, does the concept of sense perception, can that be metaphysically meaningful and intelligible if there is no causality?
No, I can't.
Okay, good. So then you must believe in the principle or the law of causality, since you're invoking the metaphysical intelligibility
Yep.
of sense perception. Okay, is there a law of causality?
I wouldn't call it a law. No, I wouldn't. And I know you're probably going to take objection
Wait a minute.
to that.
Let's go move back a little bit here.
Sure.
You are invoking the reliability of basic sense perception. Sense perception. It doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Yes,
Now,
it does.
No, it doesn't.
You have no argument without it.
Now, sense perception requires for its metaphysical meaningfulness and intelligibility. Notice I said metaphysical meaning and intelligibility. Sense perception requires that there be the law of causality, because in a possible world where all events spontaneously occur, that they are acausal, sense perception would therefore metaphysically be a meaningless concept. So you must, since you are affirming the reliability of sense perception and the existence of sense perception, then you are committed to that there is the law of causality. Now, do you have a justification for the law of causality?
No, I don't. The problem I'm trying to point out here that everyone doesn't want to answer is that you're in the same boat as me until you can prove your premise that there's
well,
a
I'll get to that. I'll get that
leaving.
into a moment. I'll get that in a moment. So you're invoking a concept, the reliability of sense perception, based upon I don't know, right? Now, do you know if there's a law of causality?
Not with certainty.
Okay, no, well, either you know or you don't know. I'm not asking you what your level of confidence is that there's causality.
That matters.
No, it doesn't matter that it matters to you. That's not my question. My question to you is
That's
this.
not a dodge.
Either it is the case that there's a law of causality, or it is not the case. I'm not asking you what your level of confidence in the existence of causality. It really doesn't interest me. What does interest me is this, is that you are holding to the premise of the law of causality, because without it, you can't invoke the reliability of sense perception. Now, is it the case that there's a law of causality?
I can't know. And I'm going to keep telling you.
Right, good. So therefore, your invocation of sense perception is based upon I don't know.
It's based on uncertainty, and I told you that 5 minutes ago.
Therefore, from within your worldview, you don't have a basis to invoke sense perception, let alone the reliability.
Until you prove your premise.
Okay, now, you understand that how would you derive where would you derive your logical laws from? When you say neither can you, are you employing fundamental basic rules of logical laws?
Christian Hillbilly just did the same thing, and you can't employ these rules either until you prove the case.
Okay, all right,
So
listen.
Keep repeating
Listen,
yourself.
all right, listen. Are you employing logical laws?
Yes.
Okay, are there absolute, invariant, universal laws of logic?
It doesn't matter.
Eliminate
Sure.
the terrorist.
Okay, listen, I'll say this one more time.
It doesn't matter because you repeat yourself.
I'm
and
going to
don't
be
defend your
well, the reason
position.
why I repeat I'll tell you why the reason
Defend
why I
your own
repeat
position.
myself. The reason why I repeat myself is because people ignore my line of reasoning, or they simply don't understand.
You've ignored
the
every
question
I've asked you.
Okay, well, you see, when I'm asking you about the basis of your assertion, what I think and believe is not germane at the moment to you defending your assertions. Have I made any assertions to you? Okay, good. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, and the fact that you feel that I am in the same epistemic conundrum as you is something that we can get to momentarily. Now, saying to me, well, that doesn't matter, in most cases is a dodge. Now, your invocation of logic and reason, however you affirm logic and reason, you are doing so based upon the nature of existence for which you have no justification. Is that the case?
I've been telling you this for probably 10 minutes.
Therefore, then there's no reason to listen to anything you have to say because you don't know what the nature of reality is.
And there's no
You
reason to
don't
listen to
know.
anything
You
say.
don't. Okay. Really? Well, really? Then
You're stuck in the same
that
boat
statement.
until you dig
Okay,
out of it.
listen. Here's the. Okay. What is the boat that I'm in? The boat
same
is
boat
there's
as
no.
me.
Okay. You know what? You keep on interrupting me.
That's because you're painfully.
You keep on over talking me. I'm
Answer
being very
one
polite.
question.
I'm being very polite and respectful to you.
Can you answer
Now,
my question, please?
when you state to me, I'll whatever questions you want to throw at me momentarily, I'll be glad to take them. But
You
I
said
haven't finished.
momentarily like 20
I
times.
haven't finished. Now, you made an assertion, you made a propositional claim that I'm in the same boat as you are. Are you saying that I'm in the same epistemic conundrum?
You are.
Okay, now, if I'm in the same epistemic conundrum as you, what is that? What is the nature of that epistemic conundrum? Is that the inability to assert things in a way that we can't be wrong?
Yes, it is.
Therefore, when you reason and when you assert that I'm in the same epistemic conundrum as you have no foundation from which to say that from.
Nope, you can't make that assertion either. Sorry.
How do you know that?
How do you know that? I mean, we can play
Okay,
this dumb game.
listen, dude, you sound like you're an adult to me. I would appreciate an adult response rather than a 14-year-old response.
Hey,
Okay.
Jesse, just ease up a little bit. Oh no, he left.
Well, yeah, you see, he's being confronted with the fact is he has no epistemic foundation from which to reason from. He fortunately for us, he conceded that he has no epistemic foundation from which to reason about anything, but then he proceeds to reason that we're in the same boat. But how could he reason that if he has no epistemic foundation?
All right. Guys, I have returned and I did listen to the conversation. And for the atheists out there that are listening, if Darth Dawkins asks you a question, responding with a question is not answering or defending your position. It's ask you something, you either say, I don't know, or at least explain to the person that you understand what they're talking about, or say, I don't know what you're talking about. Go from there, as opposed to getting pissed and start pulling at your hair and crying on my microphone that tears on it. You know, it breaks the technology. Paladin, I unmuted you now. You can send a message and saying, hey, my mic's suppressed. Yes. You immediately come in the room. You are suppressed if I don't know you, don't trust you. But I unmute you. You should be able to talk now. All right, continue on, guys.
Yeah, so the point is, the moment he concedes that he has no epistemic foundation for reason, for logic, for sense perception, it's game over. Anything that comes out of his mouth is Charlie Brown's teacher speaking. So when he says that I'm in the same boat that he is, he's making a metaphysical declaration. He's making a propositional claim. But he has conceded that he has no foundation to make any epistemic claims whatsoever. So basically what here we had was on full display an atheist being completely contradictory and incoherent in what he was saying.
I agree. Do we have any more non-believers left in the room? I know that we've got Christian Hillbilly, Mr. Darth Dawkins, religious folks, Marshy. What about you, Paladin of the South? We've also got Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus, you think you take a break from your shooting cops video games playing over there?
I'm shooting cops and shooting terrorists.
All right, fair enough. What's that
No, that's not anything you want to do for cops, by the way. I'm legit shooting terrorists. Helps me, I am paying attention to everything you're saying.
Alright, well guys, hold on a second. My wife and daughter just got back from a Christmas party. I'm gonna go talk to them. We are broadcasting live. I'm going to hand over the reins to Darth Dawkins and Hillbilly, and you guys try not to have dead air. Continue to broadcast. Right?
Okay, is the link in the YouTube window for Discord?
I believe that if you scroll up, you'll see out there. If not, when I get back, I'll give you the thing. We have about 15 people who are watching at this very moment. Usually the video gets more views after it goes from the broadcast to a... You understand what I'm saying? Like the last one we had, last broadcast got over 1,000 views. It did pretty good, but it doesn't look like much when it starts. You understand what I'm saying? During the initial broadcast. right?
Can you hear me? I could invite some people.
Oh, then we've already said that to you repeatedly. There's a dumbass troll that's talking. Yeah. Guys, I'll be right back in a moment. I gotta see how my wife and daughter is doing. I'm gonna mute my mic and you guys take over.
Yeah, does anybody in the room here have the link to the YouTube channel?
Look up God TV Radio I show.
If you just scroll up, you'll find it as well.
Darth, should I invite some people over?
Oh, one last thing. Whenever the video does go up, I will be changing the title. But originally, every time, hello, Paladin, I'm gonna have to mute you from being a dumbass. I told you. That's the 10th time I told you. Shut your mouth. I'm trying to talk. The video right there says God TV Radio Live Podcast Show by Brett Keane joined. But whenever the video goes up, it'll probably be called Christian Hillbilly and Darth Dawkins discusses Deformity of Nature, or whatever the main subject will be of the broadcast on the title. I changed it after it became this video. You understand, guys? Okay. Now
Yeah,
I'm done.
Paladin, are you familiar with push to talk?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, do you know what push to...
Mic is working very well right now.
Right, do you know what push to talk is?
No. I'm on mobile at the moment. I don't have my my desktop computer in front of me.
Okay, I'm not aware if there's push to talk on the mobile. Okay.
What I do have on mobile is there's like an option, a prompt that you can press to mute your mic, and then you press it again to unmute it. That's just what I've been trying to use. When I was trying to talk earlier, I wasn't sure if I was coming through or not. That's why I kept saying hello. That's the only reason.
Okay, so if we have any atheists in the YouTube audience who want to join the Discord room to discuss the merits of the rationale or justification for atheism, we'd love to have you. Okay, so Paladin, what's your basic worldview?
I am actually a recently converted Christian. I am not really too sure. I still have a lot of questions regarding my faith. But I did just recently, what's the word? I'm sorry, just give me a moment.
No problem. Take your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, a family member of mine passed away recently. And before that, I guess I would have referred to myself as an agnostic. Faith was never really just something that was a part of my life previously.
Jesus Christ.
But after my family member passed away, it was my grandmother.
Yeah, that guy left.
I was in a really desperate moment. But a friend of mine who is Christian.
Okay. Wait, but isn't Fuse your only operator?
She talked to me about it, and it really opened my eyes, and it really led to
I'll give it to you
a change in my view on my life.
I'm not very good with Glass, but it's better for me to learn.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you became a Christian.
Go on to site.
One point I'd like to make a comment is that when we come to faith in Jesus Christ, it's not that we're adopting faith, so to speak, whereas before we didn't. Is we are switching one content of faith to another content. If one does not have faith in the Creator God, the God of the Bible, who incarnated himself in Jesus Christ, they will have faith in some other ultimate nature of reality, which would be their ultimate commitment as to why they're here, why they can think, why they can reason. So unfortunately for a lot of atheists, they seem to try to say that there's a battle between reason and faith, which is just simply absurd, because they cannot reason themselves to the foundation of their beliefs or what their ultimate commitment is. So whoever anyone is in the debate, whether atheist, Gnostic, Hindu, everybody is starting from faith-based commitments. The difference for the Christian is our faith is a response to the revelation of the Christian God. Now, the skeptics, the atheists out there will deny that, and they will, because of their commitment that God does not exist, they will interpret that response as just simply being blind faith or an assumption. but they have no foundation from which to say that from. They can't do it from sense perception, nor could they do it from reason. So everyone is coming from a faith-based position in terms of their ultimate commitment.
Right, and that's kind of what, you know, like I said, what opened my eyes. I have a couple friends. Well, it's just kind of like two friends. I have a small group of close friends, but that's not really relevant. I do have a couple friends that they consider themselves atheists. I've never really discussed with them what their personal beliefs are or what they don't believe. I've never really tried to discuss it with them because it was never really something that was pertinent to my life at the time. They were actually, you know, after I found my faith recently, they were actually quite supportive of it, surprisingly. I guess they're kind of more open, but again, I haven't really.
Well, maybe they feel.
Go ahead.
Maybe as atheists they feel that it's a psychological crutch that might be beneficial to you, even though ultimately they think that it would be a fairy tale. Maybe that's their position.
That's very possible. I mean, considering, like I said, I've had a loss in my family, that they may be viewing it as that way. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I mean, you know, I'll find out in the near future if they're bullshitting me or not. You know what I mean? If they are truly someone I could rely on as friends.
Right. Just keep in mind, number one, nobody is neutral, and neither should you be.
Right. Right. I totally understand that, and I agree.
Yeah, a lot of skeptics would have you believe that they're merely being neutral and they're withholding belief in God due to an insufficiency of rational justification or evidence. But that's not simply the case, because when we apply the very criterion that they claim that they're using to withhold belief in God, and we apply that to their ultimate commitment as to the nature of existence, we find that they believe things about the nature of reality, and those things that would be derived from it without any rational support or observational evidence
that was just
whatsoever.
the greatest kill I've ever seen.
So you see, the atheist position is actually an incoherent one, because the very criterion that they're standing on is an arbitrary one and not a consistent one.
Or just healing.
I'm all about that armor.
It seems like that way, especially when you lay it out in a discussion like you just did. It's kind of something that has made me more interested in wanting to
do you mind
meet other people. You know, not just meet them on a social level, but also discuss with them their personal beliefs. You know, whether they have one or not, whatever they believe. But to discuss with them what they believe and what they don't.
Sit an objective with me and protect you.
And to understand their perspective, and to also see if they truly are neutral,
some mutes like to roam,
or if they are just
wait a minute.
Go ahead.
No, when I only have 2 defenders, and when I want to roam, I play Pulse.
That they're neutral, because if you hold that the Bible is the infallible, inspired word of God, God says nobody is neutral.
5 seconds and counting.
That's a good point.
Since God has exhaustive knowledge about the nature of affairs and the nature of man and the nature of unbelievers, God declares that they are not neutral. That their non-belief is a form of rebellion. That God has made them to know that a one true creator God exists, and that which exists, the creation, is a testimony to God's existence, his eternal power, so they're without excuse. And he's also made them to innately know that. Now, God specifies that in a number of places, but more specifically in Romans chapter 1. Okay? So when an atheist tells you, well, no, I don't know that God exists, then you have to ask yourself, who are you going to believe? What God says about the nature of man, or what an atheist says about his own personal nature?
Right. That's a good point you bring up. Like I said, I'm pretty new to my faith. I just started reading the Bible. I haven't read too much of it. I'm trying to get other opinions. That's kind of why I joined this chat tonight. This is the first time I've ever been in a Discord chat.
Send me a friend request. I can help you out with a lot of stuff.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. I appreciate it.
Where they get you from?
Hello, I've returned, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a new...
Brett.
Oh, thank you. We've got a new person called No Balls here. How you doing there, No Balls? You were unmuted.
No, the middle of the map where the...
Oh, boy.
Well, the fact that they don't have an avatar is usually an indication that the account was just made.
Yeah. I try to give people an opportunity. Usually 9 times out of 10 they turn out to be an asshole, but I've made some mistakes and got rid of some people that didn't know how to put an avatar up yet. I try to be careful with.
You have been spotted.
The Paladin of the South, you say that you're new and you're getting into the Bible. Would you be interested in asking what is advice you're looking for? Hello, Bacon.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Paladin of the South, you had said that you are looking into advice and all that.
I am. Actually, Brett, part of the reason why I tried looking for your Discord is because I mentioned this to Darth Dawkins, I believe, that a couple of my friends were atheists, or they are atheists. They still identify as that. You know, whatever they want to believe, that's up or down. But that's a different point. They watch a podcast called, I think it's called The Drunken Peasants, with and there's a YouTuber on there. I think his name is The Amazing Atheist.
Yeah, what does that mean?
TJ, I believe.
It's
The Amazing
Elite.
Atheist, and I've always found when I watched like half an hour of an episode before, and I found them very vulgar, very crude, disgusting people.
Right.
Very, very aggressive and mean. And I watched them cover your videos, and I don't understand why they were so aggressive against you. I never understood that, but
that's just the way atheists do on YouTube. Atheists are looking to make money on the internet, media. So what they do is they call themselves edgy. They think that the more nastier, disgusting, or ridiculous they are, it's going to get them views. Mr. Darth Dawkins, Christian Hillbilly, Jesus Freak, we've all experienced the supposed logic and rationality and consideration of atheists. They have a tendency to have no moral compass. They're really bankrupt, is what it is.
Right.
Welcome to Ubisoft.
Which I agree with.
And
continuing with what I mentioned, you know, I saw like half an hour of an episode show, so I was like, okay, what this man Brett Keane, when they were covering one of your videos on their show, I was like, I actually want to see one of his videos and see what he discusses. And I watched one of your videos, and at the time, this was before my relative passed away, so this is before I changed my opinion of myself. Consider myself a Christian. This was before that. Your videos really did help to open my eyes into what it's like to see what's beyond what we are, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but and you know, I really appreciate your videos, Brett. I really do. They've helped me through a dark time, especially recently, that I've already mentioned before. But
I'm sorry about the struggles and pain that you've had in your life. I hope that you had your days.
I hope so. Was someone else talking?
Holy shit!
No, I was just listening to you, Mr.
But yeah, I do hope things have kind of changed around for me in my personal life, ever since that I've taken on a different perspective and have taken a belief in and faith in God and what God has done to help me change my life so far for the better. Just for a small example to mention, before I would say that before I was depressed, I still kind of think I am, but definitely finding my faith helped to change my perspective and look at life from a more from a more healthy outlook, if that makes sense.
I love you.
That makes perfect sense.
Good job, guys.
Spirituality and
like
the idea of
pink
God
stick?
and there being a future,
God, don't mean to
meaning
flex on
and
you,
purpose, all things can really help people get dark in time.
I'm toxic.
Person doesn't believe there's any light at the end of the tunnel or any kind of hope. The depression and atheism lead them to nihilism, where it's just terrible feeling. So yeah, I understand, and I'm glad that you found your light.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Brett. I really do. Especially your videos have helped me. I'm not gonna go into too detail because I don't want to give too many details of my personal life. But I also don't want to overwhelm anybody with TMI type of information.
May I give you some advice in something, South? I know that you haven't asked for this specifically. Probably some of the best advice I could give you. Now that you're a work in progress and you're going for a different road in your life, I would suggest, especially in media on the internet, that you don't. Right now, we're live broadcast, and try not to, whenever you're in conversations with unbelievers, or too much personal things about your life. Atheists are very good at using psychological warfare. They will use your loss, your pain and suffering, try to harm you on a mental and a level. Careful.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I said my piece on that.
I mean, I don't understand that. Why? I mean, this is the only TMI type of information we get. It's not really a lot of personal details. Part of what has really helped me through is also the small amount of antidepressants that I'm on that God Himself has helped to bring me to. But going back to what you just said, Brett, I don't understand, why do atheists, why do they make videos that are directly harming another person? Well, I don't understand that. I get refuting an argument and discussing things with people, but why do they go to the point of where they're attacking, someone personally? I don't understand that.
There's a couple different reasons. It's not just with ladies and gentlemen. It's routine for atheists on YouTube, especially Twitter, Facebook, all that. Even atheists who are not even associated with these seem to have the same pattern about them. They make money. It also feeds their narcissism whenever they get the attention of other people. They seem to think that the only way that they can win debates or discussions is by belittling you and making you feel smaller than nothing. If they find out that you have something that is a chink in your armor or something that weakens you or can cause you to go into tears, they get off almost in a sexual way by harming and causing problems for others. They like in pain. So yeah, that's why I say be careful. I would say, if I had to tell you some folks to talk to that ain't ever going to do you wrong, is probably Darth Dawkins, Christian Hillbilly, Jesus Freak. These are the folks you want to talk to. Be careful talking to some unbelievers online. They'll even lie to you and claim that they're Christian when they're not, just so they get your personal stuff. Careful.
A question. One question that I did want to ask you, Brett. In that, how I mentioned earlier that there's the half-hour that I was introduced to these drunken peasants people. They also watched a video by another Christian YouTuber. I think his name was, or maybe he's still around. Maybe you would be able to enlighten me on it. His name is G-Man. Is he still a YouTuber?
Yeah, G-Man he still does his thing. He actually came into a broadcast I had a couple of days ago. And yeah, he's still doing his thing. Yeah.
Did anyone hear that, inhuman screech, 1 second ago?
Yeah, who did that?
I was just gonna say, we was gonna brush past that.
Well, I'm so used to people just doing weird things out of nowhere that it's kind of, it's like, okay, whatever.
Probably.
Yeah, somebody.
Sometimes.
Sorry. What hurt?
I said sometimes people just do weird things like me when they say, "Oh, what a day the Lord has made! Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Yeehaw! Merry Christmas, everybody.
You know, it's funny.
This man is actually brilliant.
It's funny because Christian will do that in the atheist Discord, and if he doesn't do it right, they'll make him actually do it over. It's really funny that they actually let him do that, and they make him do it right too.
So Paladin of the South, Paladin of the South, I don't know if you realize this, but originally our conversation started with you saying that you were seeking or exploring different suggestions and advice, and I kind of threw out my own thing out there. But, I don't know how we went from you want advice to going into you watching DP and hearing atheists act like rabid animals. These are the same people who think that they come from the monkeys, so you shouldn't be surprised when they act like one. What is the advice you're looking for?
Like one actual question that I could go into detail on is I still have a lot, you know, while the death of my loved one, it was my grandmother specifically. I think I might have already mentioned that.
10 seconds
while her death has helped me to move forward with my life, I still find it very difficult to just even think about her. I mean, not only that, there's still other members of my family who are still struggling with dealing with the grief. And for example, my younger brother, he's 15. I'm 24. That's not relevant, but I mean, he's been it's been very difficult for him to even get up to go to school. He can't even really. I mean, he can function, but he's having difficulty doing it. So I guess that would be a question of advice that I don't know if any of you guys would, you know.
So that's unfortunately when there's a loss, whether someone's religious or non-believer, there's going to be many different ways people mourn, and one of them is people get very tired. Some people get sick to their stomach. It's painful. Obviously, you're in a lot of pain, and if you feel like your brother's hurting, just continuously put your arms around him, give him a hug, say, "I love you, bro. I'm here for you." Anytime you need to talk, no man, I'm here for you. You need to be close with your family. You know, that's the best I can give you. I can't tell you that the pain's ever going to go away. It just continue to roll on to the best you can. And remember, grandmother loved you guys, and she wants you to be happy and do something with your life. Remember that.
Well, not only that, but I'll quote scripture that remember, the Lord your God will never leave you nor forsake you. Now that you are a child of God, that is not just a fact, that is a promise. So no matter what happens, remember God has two different types of wills that happen. There's his prescriptive will and his permissive will. You know what? Everybody dies. Every single person does. And you know what? We all have to deal with that. But all these events point us back to the Savior, point us back to the fact that there is a Creator who created us and redeemed us and sent his son. That's why we're having Christmas, to send his son to die for our sins. And that God is knowable because he has revealed himself to us. And what did I say at the beginning? That he would never leave us nor forsake us. So not only has he made himself known to you, he's right now made you know that he will never leave you, and you can trust in that.
Cool.
Thank you everyone. I really appreciate it. It really does help me feel better. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit right now.
Get your breather, man. Go get you some water. Now relax, man. Breathe.
I think I'll do that. I'll be right back. I'll mute my mic so it doesn't pick up any background noise. Thank you. I'll be right back.
All right, we're gonna be here for a while. Oh, good. We got somebody in the room called No Balls, and we've got a Tyrannosaurus. Are you guys wanting to talk to me, Mr. Hillbilly and Marshy? Yeah, I know that you've been here a while, and I'm asking you if you'd like to have a conversation.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask.
Put down your jammers.
was just gonna ask you, Brett, what do you think about Dusty Smith? Just real quick.
I think that he is another one of them atheists who have a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, and he uses religion to sell T-shirts. He attacks religion for the hopes to be able to feed his narcissism, get attention, get views, and pay for himself stuff. He's had himself in a lot of issues for scams as well. That's pretty well known and common. Anybody else you want to know about?
What?
Is there anyone else you want to ask me about?
I thought you meant about Dusty Smith. Because the reason why I asked is because, you know, TJ and Dusty aren't really getting along very well.
Right.
As of the last year.
Yes, I understand DP is constantly looking for enemies, and they don't care if you're an atheist or religious. Anyone that they can tear down into pieces, they'll do that. And I'm sure they've done a damn fine job of making their fellow atheists look like assholes too, along with themselves. Very good.
What about Sargon of Akkad, or do you not really have any strong opinions about him?
I've seen some of his videos. From my point of view, he says a lot of the same nasty shit, but he does it in a very eloquent, polite way.
Hello everyone, it's me, Sargon of Akkad. Welcome to week 25 in Speaking Stupid.
His videos are like 20 minutes each.
Well, I've tried over and over in the last 10 years to teach atheists how to, if you don't enjoy a video, to simply, I don't know if you noticed, but in the top right-hand corner of the browser, there's an X, and click that. Those people that you don't enjoy watching, they disappear. I've even made tutorial videos trying to teach atheists how to turn off their own computers when they can't use and I just can't get through to them on that.
Elhan, why did you leave the
Still
call?
there?
Yep.
Why do you keep leaving? Freaking
I'm not trying to be mean, but I have this tendency, unless someone, if someone isn't talking trash about me, insulting me, I usually will not desire to seek out anything that an atheist has to say. Unless someone says, Brett, this guy made a video, or this woman run their mouth at you. I go see, and I want to see if they're dealing with any of my arguments or points. 9 times out of 10, the atheist is usually concerned about how pretty my hair is and what my nose looks like on my face. It has nothing to do with my arguments. Whatever. Next.
When I came in the room, you were talking about something about Chuck Norris. I was wondering what that was about.
Oh,
somebody bring a
I mean,
shield
that
to
entire
deploy so I can,
argument was more or less redundant in the fact that we all kind of agreed in it. Essentially, it was something about like mitigating casualties and losses and the greater good when it comes to protected buildings by the Geneva Convention, and whether or not they should be destroyed if they house dangerous criminals in them.
Yeah, we were trying to establish what's the best plan of action. Chuck Norris, it was obviously a joke.
Chuck Norris is like 70 something.
I know, it would take
80, I think.
Yeah, he did kick your butt.
I think Chuck Norris could still cause some terrorists and harm.
Well, I never said I could outfight him.
I'm not so sure, man. He's getting on his years.
He was pretty bad off in Texas Ranger. I remember so many times feeling annoyed because it took him like 10 minutes just to be able to kick somebody, and I'm like, that's much too long. I think I would have died.
Ella, I will shoot you in the head.
I've never really been a fan of Chuck Norris.
Can you please?
You're a fan of Chuck Norris?
He's kind of like the action hero that I never really got into. Like, he wasn't really known for much. A lot of his stuff wasn't really readily available over here.
Yeah, I myself have always been a fan of Bruce Lee, Jet Li. I like martial arts that is a bit more quick and graceful. Chuck Norris was just this big oak that knew how to kick you in the face every once in a while.
Very lumbering.
Nobody messes with the Lord.
My dad's
I
said he
didn't
looks like a
shoot
monkey.
you. What the hell?
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
Oh, can you guys hear me? I'm back.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, I can hear you there, Mr. Paladin. We were talking, and Mr. Tyronus, or whatever his name is, he wants to piss off Chuck Norris by calling him a monkey.
No, that's my dad.
Oh, okay. You tell your dad that he better not say that Chuck Norris, or Oh, he's 80 years old. You know what Chuck Norris does? If he stirs his finger, he can make a typhoon happen.
I don't think there's a single. I don't think there's even one. Like, oh, what the hell was that?
What, somebody got a bunch of children in a closet over here?
It's like, yeah, it's like someone's like being grabbed.
I think that came from my end. I've
Oh.
said before, I'm on mobile, and
Oh, fair enough.
I have a couple siblings. I mentioned my 15-year-old brother earlier. I have another brother who's 12, and he's kind of on the autism spectrum. So I apologize about that. I'm trying to keep my door closed so it doesn't pick up on noise. I apologize.
Okay. Mr. Paladin of the South, earlier you had said that you watched one of my videos that helped with some kind of inspiration. Would you be able to tell me the title of that video?
The one of the first videos that I saw from you, I think, don't quote me on the title, because it's coming from memory. The one title is, God, please forgive me. I cannot help but hate atheists. It was something similar to that, because that was the video that I saw that my friends were watching on DP specifically.
Yeah.
That was
that was a rough one. That was a very, very. Usually, whenever I do my videos, I just hit record and see what's in my mind. But I was in that particular mood that day whenever I made that video, and yeah, I figure God knows my heart, and I think that there's no point in holding back. I just put it out there that atheists have put me to a point where I can definitely, honestly say there's some hatred there. I don't like it. I don't want to do it like that. I'd like to bring the level of extreme down to a more manageable level, but I've experienced, observed, and dealt with non-believers for so long, they deliberately try to piss me off. And what can you do?
I understand. Personally, I mean, I mentioned this already earlier, and I can't remember what time I mentioned it, but like I said, I have two friends. They consider themselves atheists, and while I haven't had any hugely negative experience with them yet, that's something that I'm trying to be very aware of, like, can they be trusted, considering that they are against God?
Right.
I wouldn't go as far for me to personally say that I hate them, because they have been my friends for years. We go way back. And like I said, that I mentioned before, and I mentioned it to Dark Dawkins when he was still in the chat, because I see he's gone now, but they did support my decision for me, to become a believer, or specifically in my case, to believe in God as a Christian. But it's just been very hard. But I don't want to completely just focus on myself. I don't want to be selfish in that.
Well, let me ask you something. There's definitely things that you look out for, and I can tell you, give you some advice if you're in any kind of danger or not. Do they run any kind of social media website, anything having to do with videos or audio, something where they would make money off of making you look like a jackass?
No, they do not. I try to refrain from using social media. The most I have is a Facebook account, but even then, I rarely use it. My friends are kind of more into that, but they don't use Twitter, and they don't use the one where you can like take pictures and post it. I think that's Instagram or something.
Okay. Well, there you go. Then, if they're not dealing in social media and they can't benefit from you in some way by trashing you or whatever, then most likely you guys will remain friends and everything will be fine in that order. I've noticed that atheists in real life, on the internet, they don't tend to talk the trash they do whenever they're in front of your face. In social media, they can hide and they're not accountable for the things they did. So I say, continue to have your friendly conversations and all that. Continue to, as long as they treat you with respect, you do the same thing, do unto others you want done unto you. But if it ever gets to a point where they may benefit off trying to make religious people feel like trash, that's something to worry about. You know what I mean?
Right. I know what you mean. I appreciate your advice, Brett. I really do. I mean, luckily, in my personal experience, I haven't come across anybody that atheists that are mean like that. The only people that I've seen like that are on the internet, but luckily that hasn't happened to me in my personal life. But I do find it very sad that like these people have done these things to you, and not just you, but other YouTubers that are religious, and not just YouTubers, but other people that have a faith, that have a belief on the internet.
Right.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, what's up there, Tyrannosaurus?
I know I'm probably annoying you with all these what do you think about questions,
No,
but
you can ask me whatever you like, man. That's all good.
What do you think about Dark Matter 2525? You like it?
The guy with the animated cartoons?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another guy who basically uses his entire channel to try to make religious people feel like shit, make a joke out of people's faith and all this. So, you know, I would like to share with you guys one of the reasons why I say the things I do for anybody that might be out there listening about how can you trust an atheist. I used to be a non-believer myself. You realize this, right, Paladin?
I never knew that, in all honesty.
Yeah, I was actually a pretty hardcore atheist for almost 10 years, using social media and the internet.
What year did that change?
I was one of those type of guys that was open-minded, and I preferred that there be a God as opposed to nothing at all. I really did. That was my view. I discovered when talking... Can you do something about your mic there, Tyrannosaurus? You keep on cutting into my mic while I'm talking.
What?
You know, can you do something about your mic? It keeps on making noises and echoing when I'm talking. Is there any way you can do it?
Let me try something.
So one of the things I discovered, can you hear me, Marshy? Let me go ahead and help him out since he can't figure out how to mute his own mic, and then unmute him after I get to talk. But can you hear me, Marshy?
I can hear you. By the way, I'll unmute Tyrannosaurus if you message in chat that you're here.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute him right after I say what I have to say. I just don't want to hear myself echo back into my face like irritating and it causes concentration issues. So what I discovered whenever I was an atheist, I would, of course, because I was considered one of the #1 guys and popular, I found myself trying to socialize with other atheists. I wanted to help endorse their channels. I wanted to promote them. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to find people I could identify with. So I would go in private with a lot of them, and I discovered very quickly that many of them were extremely immoral. Some of them actually wanted to hurt religious people. And I discovered if I shared anything personal whatsoever of any kind of matter with them, I should expect that within a week or even a couple days, they would make a video playing back a recording of me talking to them in private, or blast the hell out of me for whatever money and views or fame they thought they were going to get, because they all considered me a internet superstar, whatever the hell internet fame even is. So I discovered over and over, year after year, that I simply could not talk to them. I could not make friends with them and have conversations of any in-depth nature about any their suffering without them dropping it on me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But guys like Christian Hillbilly and guys like Jesus Freak, I knew them for 10 years. Even whenever I was an atheist, I used to share some painful moments in my life to them about losses and death and all this. And they never once made a damn video about me trying to spread all my stuff out there in order to push the agenda of religion or whatever the hell the deal is. And they could have. They could have put some really dark shit I talked to them about out there, and they never did. And when you're around a group of people that will respect you and love you, no matter what your label is, like that, it says something. It makes you start questioning, where does that light come from? Why are they good and this group sucks? Why can I trust these people but not these people? You understand?
Right. That's a very good thing you bring up. I guess it would boil down to, you know, what are individual people like? You know, what is this one guy like? What is this other person like? You know, what do they believe? What do they, you know, what do they don't? And, you know, aside from, you know, personal beliefs, you know, what does this one person do in their daily life? What does this one person not do in their daily life? If that makes any sense in the situation.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't know if you know this, but you were talking earlier about what you've been watching on DP. You do realize I was actually friends with a couple of guys back in the day when I was an atheist.
I do have the knowledge that, like I said, my friend was the one who showed me Drunken Peasants, and I think he mentioned that, was it The Amazing Atheist? He mentioned that The Amazing Atheist was another old school YouTuber, another person from back in the day.
He came in about I'd say almost 6 months to a year later after I did. I was, people actually call me the gateway to atheism social media. I was one of the first that actually was outspoken to open up the channels and encourage and inspire people to come. I blame myself and have a lot of regret for that. But the Amazing Atheist, when he came on, he was like a young man at the time, almost like a brother. I felt like he was like a brother and atheist at the time, and I promoted his channel. I endorsed him. I told my subscribers I was very popular, saying go and subscribe to this guy. And I ended up talking to him behind the scenes. And every single time he just blasted the shit out of me whenever he felt like being edgy, that they are an asshole. But finally, it just got to the point where I just cut him off and said, I ain't going to trust this guy anymore. I can't talk to him. Lo and behold, it's 10 years later, he's still doing the same damn routine, and people are watching it and going, wow, what the fuck is going on?
It's, if you don't mind if I interject for just a moment.
Sure.
Thank you. There's a movie and this is relevant because I think it relates to The Amazing Atheist.
Barricade the room. We need to protect
there's a movie critic that I do currently watch on YouTube. His content has helped me pull through. You know, he has a sense of humor about his videos. Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of movie review people. What's the point?
I'm sorry about that. But the one YouTuber that I watch who reviews movies, I think his channel is called Your Movie Sucks. His name is Adam, and I think he mentioned in one of his previous videos that at one point he was friends with The Amazing Atheist.
5 seconds.
I don't know why they're not friends anymore, because I do watch Adam's streams. He streams every Sunday. He plays games and he talks about different things, and he's mentioned that he and TJ were friends years ago, but their friendship broke up over some sort of business transaction. I'm not sure what that was. But were you in any way associated with YMS, Brett? Since you're one of the really older YouTubers out there.
I don't know who the movie sucks guy is that you're talking about. However, I did have a buddy a while back. We didn't leave on bad terms. We just simply, I guess he went on to do other things besides the internet. But I used to be pals with an atheist called Adam. I forgot to mention him. Adam was actually a pretty nice guy. He never tried really fucking with me. He did call me stupid a few times whenever I told him I'm open-minded to God. He was one of the first people I told in the scene before making videos publicly coming out as a theist. I remember telling this really nice guy that I liked, I was like, dude, how do you feel about this? I feel like I've had enough experiences. I feel like there's enough scientific information to support the idea of God. And he's like, what are you, fucking stupid, Brett? And I'm like, dude, we're friends. You ain't gotta talk to me all like that. And he's like, no, that's fucking stupid, man. You push the idea that there may not be no God all these years, and now you're gonna sit there and tell me that you're open-minded to it? I'm like, well, isn't that what you want? You want people to be open-minded and see if it happens to be God? So what? What's the problem? He's like, you're just fucking retarded, Brett.
Upstairs.
So me and Adam kind of cut out a little.
I'm sorry that happened to you. It sounds like you guys have had, previously you had a relationship for some time.
In the doorway to your right.
It is what it is.
No,
I don't believe in Harry Potter
left,
or Lord of the Rings,
doorway.
ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not going to spend 3 hours a day fucking bitching about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this Marsh here, you still there? Am I terrible or what?
Yeah, I'm still there, dude. I'm still here.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not saying everybody's going to have my experiences, but I have observed other Christians brutalized by unbelievers and so. there's just no trust there anymore. If an atheist comes in, I'll be friendly with them, I'll be nice, but usually at the end of the day, sooner or later, they're going to get mad and call me the N-word or faggot or loser. Here, these are the same people who claim they're the champions of homosexuality, but they're the first ones to tell you to suck a dick. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't understand why they would, go to such vulgar language. I would understand if they disagreed with you regarding something, and they're like, "Hey, I disagree," end of discussion there. But I don't understand why they would just switch to profanity so quickly.
Well, I don't get heavily offended by the whole language thing, really. In fact, I cuss quite a bit. Marcy, I tell you, I need a big bar of soap for my damn mouth. But it's the problem where when they start feeling like they can't, indoctrinate you to their nothingness, never-ending story bullshit they got going on in their head. When they feel like they can't get to you or change you into a carbon copy of themselves, man, they act very cult-like. They get very pissed off.
Brett, can I talk now?
I don't know. Are you able to?
Oh yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Yeah. How come that what's his name, hillbilly guy? He got so offended when I cussed, but he didn't bat an eye at you doing it.
Because he knows that I'm snarky. He knows that I'll say something silly back to him and all that. Hillbilly, he's kind of used to me and all that. He doesn't know you very well. You know how it is. Whenever you meet somebody, you just first meet someone, you may get offended more easily. However, if you get to know somebody for years, you're like, yeah, he's a nice guy, but he's got that asshole part of him kind of concept. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Would it be okay if I asked you a question real quick, Brett?
No, you haven't paid me on my Patreon yet. You can't ask me shit. Understand what's up there, pal.
Well, my quick question was just, could I fuck Dorn's fat cunt?
I knew it, dude. I knew it.
That's fucking.
Dude,
that's right, Brett. Yes, Marshy. Yep.
I fucking knew that. Like, I was gonna call it out, like, a long time ago, like, saying, I think this guy's a bit dubious, it seems a bit, iffy. But I didn't want to say anything to offend him. But I fucking knew that guy was fucking shifty.
Yeah, I'm glad he did it, too. I mean, I've been sitting here saying the whole time you can't trust an atheist. They'll pretend that
I was waiting for that shit, dude.
Well, did you like it?
I was gonna DM you, but I was like,
No, it would have been nice if you would have gave me some kind of heads up, but I'm glad he did it because it proves my point exactly. Did I not spend the last damn 30 minutes talking about how you can't trust atheists? They're full of shit. They got no moral compass. And then he decided, his little brain, his little monkey chemicals, they started smacking up against each other, and he decided he wanted to prove my point. I appreciate it.
It's I didn't feel right in calling out a guy who he said like.
Is he still here and he just leave?
He was talking about like fucking like his family having like cancer and shit, and I was like, I don't really want to call someone's bluff on like the death of a family member.
Yeah, yeah, they'll claim to be Christian. They'll claim that they've lost someone. I had a guy once who he gets hold of me on Skype, and he goes, "Right, I've been believing in God for a long time, but my grandmother or somebody has cancer. Can you pray for them? Can we pray together?" And I'm like, sure. So I do. I'm in the middle of my prayer, and you're a fucking fag, suck my dick, you bitch. So it's like, they're disturbed. They're deranged people.
To his credit, though, he did do a good job of weaseling his way in.
Yeah.
He had a convincing story.
Yeah, atheists are very good at sneaking in there. That's why you gotta watch out for them. Yeah, I still have a weakness, Marshy, and atheists still realize this, and even but I try to see the good in everybody. I like to believe that someone wouldn't use something so significant or relative like the loss of a family member in order to push an agenda, but it's obvious that I still need some growing, right?
Yeah.
There it is. So
Merry
What else
Christmas
we
to
got?
that guy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun, dude.
I just hope that God doesn't bring wrath down on his family and all that. If his family acts anything like him, I don't see a bright future in the distance. You know what I mean? So, it's what it is. So what shall we talk about? What else is on our minds, ladies?
How many people do we have?
It's just 3.
There's 2.
Yeah.
I would get more people, but none of them are awake at this time.
Well, outside it says between 15 and 20 people, but like I said, usually the rooms, they may get 20, sometimes up to 50 in views while it's actually broadcasting, but later the video picks up views throughout the day. You
Are
understand?
you doing another one tomorrow? Or
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'll see. It depends on if I'm bored. I don't know. I think we're gonna be opening up presents or something like that.
They're both right outside the door where I am.
To guess to open. Who knows? So what else you guys want to talk about? You guys got any more questions, or do you want to all of a sudden burst out in some kind of hate? Yeah, for me.
I'm too tired. Oh, not even tired. I just don't,
Brad,
I just don't feel like talking about repeating the TJ whole manatee stuff right now. I mean, that would be funny, but I just don't feel like it.
Yeah, let's see what we got
We
here.
only have 3 people.
Brett
I was
Keane
gonna,
is a smelly boy, and he's bad.
And he's a manatee and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's rough.
I know.
Okay.
Right? Terrifying.
You merciless barbarian, you friggin' Tyrannosaurus.
Would you guys like to hear something that's funny?
Sure.
Go ahead.
You know why they call a manatee a manatee?
Why?
Oh, you've told me about this.
Yes, it is believed that the manatee is actually a descendant of the atheist. For those out there who believe that evolution is the case, that's why they call it manatee, such as man. Okay? So for anybody out there that thinks it's funny to call other people manatees, yet you're an evolutionist, literally shitting on your own family members.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
What a bunch of carrots.
Exactly. So what else we want to talk about?
I was
Very
gonna
excited.
ask. I was gonna ask earlier if you wanted, if we could do a political talk, but I think there's too little people to talk about that.
2 little people to have a political discussion?
Yeah, there's only 3 people.
You clearly have not been on any internet forum ever.
I don't understand why there's got to be more than this many people to be able to have a political discussion.
Oh, North Korea's doing something. They're rejecting UN sanctions on their missiles, apparently.
Good for them. I support every country's right to self-determination.
Yes, you support the Juche ideals of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yes.
What does it matter if North Korea says they don't like something or blah blah blah? If the UN and all the countries around the world take away aid and money, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know,
Well, the UN has like no power.
Got the option.
The UN has some, you know, arbitrary form of power. They have their own centralized military, for Christ's sake. They have the Blue Berets. I think I already asked this, but neither of you were here at the time. Any of you played any RPGs? Now I know, like, video games and stuff, but like actual
Like
role-playing pen and paper games, like D&D.
Oh, I actually have a D&D star set right here, but my like older half brother gave it to us for Christmas a while ago, but my brother's not into that kind of stuff, so it's just on the shelf collecting dust.
That's a shame. What about you, Brad?
No, I haven't really got into that. I've got buddies in the past who've done the whole card games and all the weird gauntlet shit and can't on the table nonsense. It's not what I'm into. I prefer the pixel sparkly shit.
Well, once again, who's the guy who did the grandmother story thing?
That's the guy that got banned because he decided he was acting like a religious person, and then ended up going.
Paladin of the South.
Yeah,
Are you adding him?
No, I want to contact that guy and tell him he's. I want to congratulate him for being a good liar. Because
I knew something was up from like the way he was talking, the language he was using. It was very kind of phoned in. It was very, but like, yeah, I smelled something was rotten in Denmark, but it wasn't rotten enough for me to go get it.
What about me? Do you detect some bullshit going on?
I do actually.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of a whiff, but like, I mean, you're alright now, so I don't give a shit until you flip out. And even if you flip out, I probably wouldn't care that much, but I'm pretty sure Brett would.
Yeah, I'm already sitting here being respectful to you as long as you're nice. Same with the other fucking guy, but as soon as you start screaming and talking about wanting to sexually assault a family member, no, I got to put you in the cage. It's just the way it is. Criminal behavior. Well, that's what it is, Marshy. I mean, have all this shit in social media about sexual harassment, all that, saying that you want to hag somebody else's wife, like, literally, sexual harassment. Could
There's
actually.
one friend who calls me in Discord every day. He keeps saying that he wants to shag my wife now.
That's our word.
Every day. Well, not pretty cool guy, but he's always drunk and shit.
Yeah. Atheist, right?
He's
well, Christians
he
don't
was a
talk
Christian,
to each other like that.
Then he became an atheist, or like a pseudo-atheist. Like
Christians don't tend to talk like that to each other at all. You won't hear a Christian sitting in the church going, "Man, I'd like to shag your wife." That's just not something you should ever expect. The atheists, boy, they're like that. But I have noticed that 90% of atheists I've ran into, usually you don't have to worry about them trying to shag your wife, because usually they're trying to shag someone of the gender. You notice that?
What?
A majority of them usually are homosexuals.
No.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm not trying to be ignorant or anything, but take a look at a majority of the atheists are on YouTube and shit. Ones that are on video, they either claim to be bisexual or homosexuals, sticking bananas up their ass, talking about how they want to suck cock
TJ's
and all
an
that.
open bisexual, but I think Paul said many times that he's not gay.
No, Paul's allowed himself to be fist fucked before. He's talked about it. So I don't know what to tell you about that. There's a lot of atheists out there who stated that. Pimp Monk X actually French kissed another man.
Yeah, I saw
obviously.
that with Paul.
Yeah.
I need to do some digging into this shit.
Yeah, just type in gay atheist on YouTube and it just blows
Gay
up.
atheist. This comes up with who? Like,
Scotty, I never detected him. My gaydar never went off when it came to him, like, whatsoever.
I only watched like a few episodes to kind of gauge what was going off, because I recently joined the whole like community and stuff around this like ordeal.
Hey, Dubs.
Oh, Dubs.
Hey, Brett, I can't believe you still got this hangout going. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I probably shut it down a little bit. Dubs, am I right? Did you hear what I was saying earlier?
I'm in and out, you know?
Well, I'm not trying to be cold. This is the truth, though. 80 to 90% of the atheists that we ran into through social media are usually gay as a $2 bill.
They tend to be a little on the queer side, if you want to use that term.
What about Scotty?
I don't know about Scotty and shit. I wouldn't put it past him, though.
I'm a bit confused on something. As gay as a $2 bill?
It's the saying goes, as queer as a $2 bill. He used it gay as a $2 bill.
I want to put this forth. I don't have any hatred whatsoever towards homosexuals. They want to bang each other in the butt.
No. I'm not confused.
That's their deal. But I'm just saying that a majority of atheists are like that, and that's one of the reasons why they hate God and religion, is because it's out against homosexuality. That's why a lot of them are so pissed off and angry. They want society to respect their desire to run down the highway in front of children in parades, swinging their ding dong around and stuff and shaking their ass for other men. That's the way it is. It's
I'm just confused. What's like so queer about a $2 bill though? I'm like.
It's an American saying. It's something you don't see often. It's a very rare. $2 bills are very rare. So.
Okay, right. Okay, it's a wordplay, right?
Yeah, there's nothing unique, but there ain't nothing wrong with $2 bill. It's just something funny to say off the.
I've never run into that before.
Yeah, a lot of non-believers tend to be solipsists. They tend to be nihilists. They tend to be all sorts of different unusual, whatever you want to label, whatever you want to call it.
Can you do me a favor there, Dubs? There's people out there. People are complaining again that the damn link doesn't work.
I'll give them the link.
All right. Do something.
Alright, Brett, I'll help you out on that.
Dubs, how's your conquest of Eurasia going?
The biohazard container has been located.
Europa Universalis.
Oh, it's gone well. It's gone very well.
Guys, hold on one second. Can you think of how many atheists that you know of off the top of your head that are not already homosexual or swallowed some balls?
Well, who was that guy that ran that stick cam room? He was as angry as a fucking animal. He was a atheist Al or something. Atheist
Large.
He was homophobic. He was an atheist.
Yeah, he was a bit that way, but there was a couple times where I heard him and a couple guys in a room talking about, doing some colon stuff. I don't know. I never heard them go into full detail about it, but I do notice that a lot.
Yeah.
They're constantly wanting to do the.
What about me, huh? You can't tell what sexuality I am.
What are you? Are you interested in males, or what's your case?
Oh no, not really.
Not really. You don't sound like you're sure.
I mean, it doesn't really matter either way.
Well, you're the one that brought it up. I wasn't sitting there claiming you're homosexual. But now that we're talking about gay, all of a sudden.
All right, Brett, stop poking it.
I gotta admit, I have a thirst for cock that cannot be quenched.
See, that's the wrong way to put it. Don't poke him. Don't worry. I won't. That's rough, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of atheists and shit, what's AIU doing nowadays? Is he just kind of faded into like obscurity, or?
He probably walked out in front of the bus, driven by another atheist. I don't know.
Right.
How do you know who he is, there, Marcy?
Like I said, I've been getting back into the whole atheistic debate again, and I'm finding out a few folks that are causing a ruckus, and apparently he did a big scandal a few years back about doxing some people.
Who did?
AIU, kangaroo guy? I don't know his name.
I think that YouTube should dox everybody. I think that the internet should be set up to where if you sign up for an account, like on Twitter or YouTube, that your real name and information should be put out there in case you decide to do something legal.
Wow, sounds a lot like,
Oh, I guarantee that the behavior would change very quickly in social media. I put myself out there. I'm Brett Keane. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I've even put my phone number out there
for Festus.
No, I'm not from Festus. That was actually an old location that I lived in. That's something that DJ keeps on blabbing about. I no longer live there. So the point is that people know who I am. They know what they're dealing with. That there isn't no rubbed the wrong way or fucking confusion here. I think that people should have their real names on their accounts, and people should know who they are. That's that.
Isn't like St. Louis like really dangerous?
St. Louis is damn dangerous. It's one of the murder capitals of the world.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it rings a bell in that kind of regard. Damn.
Oh yeah, we are right in the middle of the United States, and we've got some nasty son of a bitches down this way. But when you got a guy like me, who's around the area of St. Louis, where there's plenty of danger telling you that I'm perfectly fine to put my name out there, I gotta tell you something, right? I ain't fucking around.
Dude, Brett the gang lord. He rules the mean streets of St. Louis.
They actually used to call me the God Killer and the gangster and all that shit.
Popping your like collar or like a switch knife. Just a couple of guys here, you know. Hey.
Yeah, people asked me a while back because I did a video where I was sitting out by some trees on a table and I was wearing a yellow muscle T-shirt. People asked me, "Why the fuck did you wear yellow?" I think I like yellow. I said, "Well, I wore it because you wear red or blue around here. That's gang colors. I'm
You're
not getting
wearing like a gang color.
shot. I'm not gonna get fucking shot on a YouTube video over a fucking color." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, TJ would be having a field day if that actually happened.
What, me getting shot?
No, because he'd lose all his ad revenue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'd have to find somebody else to aggravate. I'm like the perfect guy. I'm awesome and everything. I never thought I would be the heel, though. I would have always thought that I would be the guy who's the one man standing up against 4 fucking hippopotamus. No, but no, for some reason, 4 guys against
Ben
1.
Scotty on this. I wouldn't call him fat.
10 seconds to go.
I would.
Ben? Dude, he weighs less than me.
5 seconds.
Well, Ben's no big. He's one of the little shits of the group. He's like the posh of the Spice group. But the thing is, though.
I get that reference. Ooh.
You got that, did you? You got that, did you? All right. Yeah, the thing is that Paul's ego, as well as TJ, they made mention that I'm fat, and I'm not exactly skinny. I do have some meat on me, but the truth is, if you were to compare our weights, I could make a doorway into their asshole and live in them like a house. That's how big they are. So that's rough. It's rough, isn't it, Dubs? Dubs, are you alive over there? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'm alive over here. What's going on?
What's so funny, Marcy? It's true.
I think silence would have been the best option to what you just said.
Right.
Brett, did you check out that metal band that I told you about?
See what we. Well, hold on 1 second. There's a person out here called Ferrix. He says he doesn't know how to click on a link in men. We've already given you a link to be able to come into the room. If you're too damn dumb to figure that out, that's not our fucking problem. What's your question, Marcy?
Oh yeah, a while back I told you to check out a metal band called Sabaton. Did you check it out?
I don't think that. I think I listened to like a little bit of one song or whatever. Nowadays, I hate to say this, and it's probably my old age catching up with me, but
out of metal,
I haven't been able to listen to a lot of music for the past few months. Something's wrong. I've been also losing some of my passion for video games. I was playing Elder Scrolls on that broadcast, and I'm like, this sucks, and I just keep doing the same fucking shit over and over again. I really tried that. I like to watch, there's some television shows on Hulu that I enjoy watching with my family. And it's just hard, man. I grew up on gaming, got into it, but, you know, I'll play my Fallout 4, but I get fucking bored after a while.
And play Fallout 2.
That guy who came in here and said the thing, the weasel, that guy, his profile picture was the cover for Fallout 2, I think. Fallout 1, rather.
Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk to me about, or I'm going to close this shit out? If people start coming in and chatting. We got 20 people watching right now. So, very exciting.
Let's do impressions, people.
Alright, how many of you are familiar with Batman Michael Keaton version?
Apparently not Dubs. Who just like skedaddled.
Have you ever seen the Batman with Jack Nicholson as the Joker?
That's the new one, right? No, I've not.
No, it's the old one. Jack Nicholson's Joker and Batman's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Is this the one directed by... Who's the director?
Michael Keaton is the same guy who plays Beetlejuice.
Right. I can't say that I have, no, unfortunately.
Holy shit. Maybe you'll remember the quote from like a trailer or something. Are you ready for my impression? This is Batman if he was sexual. Ready?
Go ahead.
Who are you?
I'm Buttman. Tell all your homosexual friends about me.
It's brilliant. I'm happy now.
Hey Brett, can you do an impersonation of Paul impersonating you? That's my favorite.
Yeah. My situation is, that fucking Brett Keane, he's such a piece of shit situation. That's pretty much how he does it.
In-joke or something?
Well, he makes fun of my voice and then tries to add like
of the mac and cheese.
Yeah, Brett Keane likes the mac and cheese situation. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do a bunch of research. This is like going over my head.
Well, me and Paul Zigo used to talk a while back, and my wife came in and asked me if I wanted something to eat, and I said, "What did you cook?" And she said mac and cheese, and I said, "All right." And then ever since then, Dick Brain's been on video going, "Oh, Brett Keane, that's mac and cheese." Well, I'm lucky she didn't come in and say steak. Could you imagine that? Oh, Brett Keane eats steak situation. Dumb.
I've never had mac and cheese ever. Like, I don't even know what it is.
Well, I'm not a big fan of mac and cheese either, but my wife cooked it that day. The children like it, and she asked me if I wanted any. I said, sure. I didn't say I was like some huge fan, and I didn't start screaming and hollering, going, yay!
Mac and cheese enthusiast, dude.
Hey, Brett. I know that Paul was in the gang also like making fun of the book he wrote back in 2004.
What? Say that one more time.
I know the DP gang loved making fun of the book he wrote back in 2004, Eternal Undying Love.
Yeah, I actually wrote 3 books whenever I was a teenager, when I was growing up in foster homes, and my wife and a friend of mine ended up typing it all out. It was all in notebook format.
When did you write these?
Back whenever I was a teenager, but it was actually put together in text or in books and stuff years later. I had never planned on actually publishing or anything. I had thought, yeah, it was interesting when I was a kid. It was like my escape from some of the shit that was going on in my life living in foster care. I'd never thought of actually putting it out there, meaning in the. My wife believed in it, though, and so did a few other people. They helped type it out and edit it the best they could. Then voila, it was put out there.
What was it about?
Well, the Eternal Undying Love series, there was 3 of them, The Second Coming and then The Serpent's Cradle. It was basically like a spiritual war. Have you ever seen movies like Underworld, the modern day Underworld movies between vampires, werewolves, spiritualism? So it was books about angels and devils, vampires, werewolves, every supernatural character basically fighting from and to the world. That was pretty much it. Had atheists in it. Yeah, it was a interesting idea at the time, but since then there's been a lot of movies that seem to have a lot of the same ideas that I had that came out later.
Holy shit, they ripped off Brett.
I don't think they ripped me off.
About that.
I didn't say they ripped me off. I'm just saying they have a lot of the same formula that I was going for. Yeah, I consider. Go ahead.
Tyrannosaurus, do a Jesse Smith impression.
Do your impression of TJ.
I don't know what he sounds like. He's like, you go first.
5 seconds to
so I can think about it.
Who me?
Marcy, do you watch DP?
No, I don't. I've seen 1 or 2 for context. I've only seen brief clips, and I virtually know nothing about it, other than TJ, who's very antagonistic in general, is a member of it, and a bunch of his friends.
Are you guys buddies, both of you?
I don't know this guy.
Oh, well, you just told him to do Dusty. Why did you tell him to do that?
I don't know. I mean, we're doing impressions.
I actually have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah, I remember. I met you, Brett, like half a year ago.
Yeah, I've talked to you a few times, but as you can see, I deal.
Literally nobody in this in the call I actually know outside of here.
Yeah, but I've noticed that you guys have spent a great deal of time putting out, you know, your views about the Amazing Apes and DP crap. I mean, look, I even got a thing up at the top about DP fans, right?
Yeah, I'm not by any standard or measurement a fan at all. I don't really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what the
context.
That's also what the guy who was in here earlier, who decided to run his fucking mouth and be hateful, said too. Remember? Oh, I can't stand them. They're hostile and aggressive. Blah blah blah. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be watching out a hell of a lot more for people now.
I mean, if you don't trust me, you can demod me.
Oh, I already did. I did that earlier. I did that earlier whenever you said that you had a feeling the guy was being a fucking problem. You didn't say a word or do anything. You let the guy slide until he got to the point where he said he wanted to fuck my wife. You let it slide completely. So yeah, I did remove it.
Fair enough.
I'll have to.
We had a little slug come in here and get through the security premises.
Yeah, we had a guy earlier who was pretending to be a Christian, and he was talking about we were talking about him losing his grandmother, and the next thing he knows, he says he wants to fuck my wife. So yeah, I had to put him out and put him in a cage.
But Brett, I can testify completely wholeheartedly, hand on the Bible, I have no wantingness to backstab you or go on a tangent and insult you. I legitimately enjoy being here.
Unfortunately, time has to tell, you know? That doesn't mean I'm going to kick you out of the room or be mean to you or anything. Like I said, I'd be respectful to people that take a shit on me, but you did just say that you knew that the guy, or felt like the guy was a problem. You let me continue to try to help him and be supportive and kind just so he could just piss right all over my face.
Fair enough, I understand that.
Okay.
I apologize, I should have informed you. I mean,
Dubs will tell you, me and him have known each other for 10 years, and Dubs doesn't like to really pay attention to a whole lot of these fuckers that come in and out of the room, but if Dubs senses, his spidey senses tingle that something's wrong, and be like, yo, bro, we got a fucking dum-dum in here, you know, he'll tell me right away, right, Dubs?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I tried
to take the pre-initiative and proudly escort him out of the room by his throat hole, you know?
I tried to send you a Discord request so I could have messaged you, but it wasn't going through, so I just kind of sat by thinking that the guy was probably legit.
Weird that you say that, you know. Aladdin of the South, he's not on my friends list, but he was able to message me just fine. I've got messages.
Oh, can you direct message without having a friend?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
Hey Brett, are you still friends with Fake Sagan?
No, Fake Sagan's an alcoholic fucking Lulu who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. I don't fucking deal with that guy anymore.
He's a pretty fucking hateful prick. I remember
wasn't that crazy
a year ago he was saying that we're gonna fucking burn in hell and shit. Remember that, Brett?
Yeah, he got really, really frustrated with me and all that. He was starting to talk about his religion, and I said, well, I can appreciate that and respect that, but that's not my cup of tea. And he's like, what do you mean it's not your cup of tea? I'm not a part of your denomination, so it's not my thing. He goes, well, then you're going to go to hell. And I'm like, well, these nuts in your mouth, you know what I mean? So I don't give a shit about all that nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't think that someone has to be of a specific church or a specific label. I'm thinking you believe in God, you try to do the best you can in your life, that's it. It don't fucking matter what kind of crap you put around yourself. You know what I mean?
Fair, yeah, amen.
Hey, Brett, are you as antagonistic to other faiths as Hillbilly is, or not really?
5 seconds.
Hillbilly and Von Helton. Von Helton's a pagan. I've noticed that some of my religious brothers and sisters out there are heavily against Islam. And I've also, of course, even some of my Jewish pals. Usually Jewish pals are more relaxed, but some of them are hardcore against Muslims, and they should be. Muslims kill the fuck out of Jewish people, homosexuals, throw them off fucking buildings. I would
the Jews that are killing the Muslims.
Your what hurt?
In occupied Palestine.
Well, I think the Jews should protect themselves and defend themselves. I don't think they should put up with that bullshit.
I think he's talking about the Gaza Strip in the West Bank.
Who's banging who?
The Gaza Strip in the West Bank.
I don't know about all that. What are you trying to figure out from me?
I can explain real quick if you want.
Sure.
Okay. So after Israel was established, around the 1950s, 1960s, when they started getting going.
No.
1949.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's get to it. What happened?
There was an event called the 7-Day War where everyone kind of like, you know, attacked Israel, but Israel defeated everyone. They took a bunch of lands from everyone around them, and essentially they held those lands for a long time, and Jewish Zionists moved in from Israel to those areas that they occupied. They gave some areas back, but some they kept. Those two are the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Now, there are a bunch of Arab Muslims that live in those areas, which identify as, you know, being from the state of Palestine. And they don't have ready access to migrate in and out of those areas, and they have a lot of trouble in those areas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what he was referring to. I'll let him take it from here.
On your feet. Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, if they're having trouble getting through and stuff because everybody's kicking each other's ass over there, my suggestion is stay away from the fucking areas where the ass kickings go.
Well, no, because Israel wants to expand.
Right.
And they don't want to give back those territories.
Well, that's something they're going to have to talk out, or they're going to do like Muslims usually do whenever they feel pissed off or annoyed. They'll just start blasting, right? And that's how they do it?
That's been happening for the past 60 years. Like, Camp David with that one peanut farmer president, he spoke with everyone. Clinton spoke to Yasser Arafat and someone else. There's been like 2 national conventions on that, and nothing's been resolved.
Alright.
And there's been 2 giant intifadas by the Palestinians, where essentially they have like these big riot wars.
I don't know.
It's a very touchy issue with a lot of complex issues.
Yeah, somebody out here called the Speaker Box says if you attack a country and lose, why would you expect to keep land? That's a fine question. Go after somebody and get your ass whooped in the process. Don't expect a reward. This is fuck TV. So.
You'd have to ask the UN. I mean, the UN says that you can't do that. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but yeah. The issue is that a lot of the people there are displaced in those 2 areas, and they can't leave. And those areas have kind of turned into ghettos, and you know.
Hey Brett, sorry for being so boring, but I'm just not really comfortable talking with people I don't know very well.
Protect the bomb.
Well, the only way that you're gonna get to know me is if you actually get in the conversation.
Alright. Yeah, so you don't know about the whole Israel-Palestine thing.
Yeah, I know that there's fucking bullshit over there, but the problem for me is that there's always some kind of bullshit about a Muslim doing this or something happening over here. I can't keep track of every fucking failed thing humanity's done.
We can move on from it if you want.
So do you support the Israel or do you support the Palestinians?
No, you can't ask that question because
down to 10 seconds.
It's too. You can't say one's right, one's wrong. There are subtle nuances from both sides that have fair points.
Bomb location secure.
Yeah, I myself, I just told you guys earlier, I live in one of the murder capitals of the world. There's places I can't go in my own fucking area. I cannot go down in the dark alleys of fucking list without having my head cracked open. So the solution is I don't go down the fucking alley. You know what I mean? Stay away from that.
But in those areas, Brett, it's kind of like St. Louis mixed in with like East Berlin. Like there are giant like walls around Gaza Strip and stuff. Like you can't go in or out unless you go for a checkpoint. And if you have no reason to go throughout a checkpoint, you can't. You're confined there, and you can't escape via sea either because they have like a bunch of patrols as well. They're essentially landlocked in and can't do anything.
Right.
The West Bank's a bit different though, but West Bank's way more complex.
Well, I don't expect nowadays. I really want my opinion about with what Muslims have been doing for the past 20 fucking years in front of the American people that are actually still alive and paying attention. I don't think anybody's going to give a shit what the Muslims gain or get out of anything anymore.
I'm back. I was taking a piss.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you something, Tyrannosaurus. Every time I'm talking, you cut into me by either belching or acting like a fucking asshole by cutting me off.
Yeah, you have been belching a lot, dude.
Yeah, you keep doing that and shit. I'm gonna put you out of the fucking room. I ain't here to babysit.
Yeah, sorry, Brett.
No, you're not. Fuck, keep doing it. I'll go ahead and mute you for a little while because I'm getting tired of hearing your Beavis and Butthead routine. But, Marshy, for me as a fucking American, it's like Muslims have blasted people all over the country, all over the world. It's like, why the fuck do I give a shit about their piece of desert anymore? I don't. It's like, okay, you guys had the chance to come to the table and talk shit out, but your idea of fucking getting things resolved is blow up innocent people. It's like, fuck what you think now. Get what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, you can't really group Muslims in the Middle East into like one big conglomerate, because
which Muslims should I go for that are not trying to fuck things up? What are their names? I can pay attention to the decent that you're talking about.
I mean, I'm not like I'm not biased to one side or the other, but
I'm asking you, Marshy, what Muslims are the good ones, so I know who to listen to.
I don't think any real. I mean, I can't really answer that question because, like, good. I mean, I don't really know.
By telling me that there's a whole lot of shit that comes out of an asshole and not all turds stink, what the fuck do you mean by that?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm simply talking about the Muslims that I'm talking about specifically.
Okay,
in their
so
geographic area.
What are the specific
Palestinians.
Muslims? Yeah, but what? Can you give me a couple names of the nice Muslims and that don't give any problems?
A few of their names.
Yeah, you're saying that there's some decent ones out there that I shouldn't throw them all.
I'm not saying that they're decent or good. I'm saying that these are the ones that are relevant to the issue.
Yeah, why are they relevant?
Because they're the ones that are feuding with Israel.
But why does so what? I mean, someone bitching and whining at a group or whatever. So relevant.
I mean, we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to.
No, I'm asking, why are they relevant? Why should I give a shit about some people who want to shoot each other off in the fucking desert?
Because your country funds that, and your tax dollars go towards it. So I don't know.
Well, if my tax fucking dollars,
to hang out.
well, Mr. Marshy saying that my fucking tax dollars are going off to some Muslim off in the desert.
No. Your money is going towards Israel, which then is relevant in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But I mean, you don't have to care about it if you don't want to.
Well, I mean, I don't have, when I'm filling out my tax papers, I don't see anywhere where it says I'm fucking paying Muslims to shoot each other. Where the fuck's that at?
I didn't say that, Brett.
What the fuck are you talking about then, Marshy?
Okay, perhaps we should drop this, because I think there's some communication problems.
Well, you're from the UK, right, Marshy?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know my taxes are going to pay for Muslims to shoot each other?
Because I take interest in, world politics.
But who the fuck is telling you this shit so I can go slap them in the mouth? What the fuck is that?
Okay, the US does give monetary aid to Israel.
Okay, so I mean giving monetary aid to Israel and helping feed some people has nothing to do with putting bullets in their guns and shoot motherfucker. Where the hell are you getting that from?
No, like the money that you give to Israel isn't for specific purposes. It's towards them, to their government, to do what they will.
So you say my government carries a suitcase of money over there and just drops it in their laps to do whatever the fuck you want with it?
Essentially, yeah, but probably digitally.
Digitally. So we're just sending motherfucking money over there, and we're not trying to figure out where the money's actually going. We're just sending it over and saying, shoot who you want.
Well, not saying shoot who you want, but here's some national aid, since you're a Western country in the Middle East that supports our agenda and what we want.
Can you give me some kind of evidence that my money has went into bullets for assholes to shoot each other over there?
Well, yeah, if your country is sending aid to Israel, it's no doubt going to their military budget in some small manner, at least statistically. Perhaps not your specific, portion of it, but America's is, and by proxy yours.
Okay. Well, tell me who the fuck's doing that later on when you get some time. Write me out a list, and then I'll go find these people, take their ass, and get my money back.
I'd say the Secretary of National Aid or National Affairs.
I'll call them up and tell them I want my fucking money back. You put my money to sleep, get it back. Sound good?
Right.
I had no idea my money was going to blow people up. Holy shit. Alright, Marcy, so what else you want to talk about besides people killing each other off in the desert?
I don't know really.
10 seconds to insertion.
Marcy, I would have thought that you've known me well enough or long enough to know that I like to poke every once in a while and have some fun. Relax there, guy. Relax.
Yeah. I just get a bit intimidated every now and again.
It's okay, Marcy. I'm just like, as long as you're not belching in my ear and shit and fucking screaming at me, I'm good. Don't get upset or bothered.
Yeah.
Have
you seen
why do you get intimidated for? I gotta ask you that, because obviously this is a problem for you. Why are you bothered for? Why are you nervous?
I don't know, it's just that sometimes I don't know if I'm very socially awkward. Sometimes I don't know when I'm overstepping my boundaries. I feel the need to apologize a lot. I really hate asserting myself. I think I'm being rude sometimes. It's just me being stupid, really.
I don't consider it stupid. You have to understand, for me, I had no idea that there was some motherfuckers on one section of Israel that was fighting where my money might actually be going to them. I've heard shit in the news, but I see a lot of the news companies nowadays, especially in America, is fake news. Liars that are fucking pushing an agenda. So I don't know who to believe on that stuff. You're telling me that somebody's taking my money, fucking digitally sending it over to Israel, and they're paying each other to kill each other. I'm wanting to know who the fuck that is that's doing it, so we can deal with them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what part of the US government deals with that.
Jesus.
America sends Israel money because Israel represents America's interest in the Middle East, because it's a democracy in the Middle East, which is very secular, and represents America's interests. Similar to South Korea, you guys give them national aid because it's a capitalist democracy in Asia that supports American values.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Yeah, I get confused about that too. Say American values and what too, but what's their values exactly? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Israel really needs the money. I mean, Israel's like one of the most richest states in the world. They have like a really good military. They have like a booming tech industry. They're doing pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, I hear you there. I wish I could say the same about myself. I could always use the extra money.
And the extra military.
I don't really need too much military around my house or out there. Personally, I do feel like I'm getting fucked in the ass about my own country when they're just taking my money and sending it all over the fucking place to everybody else. Especially if you're telling me Israel's doing so wonderful. They don't need my fucking money.
Yeah, Israel is well off. I can... Let me send you a few links or sources.
Alright, so we got some people out there. There has been a link sent. I don't know why Dub keeps on taking off on me. Oof, there's a weird video showing up next to my broadcast called 10 Gamers Who Tragically Died While Playing. That's fucking sad.
Wow. The internet's really depressing sometimes.
That's a dip. Well, what else is on your mind there, Marcy? Don't be intimidated. It's all good, huh? Uncle Buddy's a clean person.
My mind's pretty much blank right now. By the way, I have this link. I'll PM
Well,
it to you.
I'm gonna give Tyrannosaurus an opportunity.
Oh, okay.
He fucking belts in my ear and starts fucking getting all rabid again. Though I'm gonna get pissed.
Send you a link, by the way.
Yeah, I can hear you. Just don't do that belching in my fucking ear shit. Mute your mic.
Alright, Pop. So, I was just gonna tell, what's his name again? What's the other dude's name?
Dubs.
Marshy?
Yeah, Marshy. Did you know that the Soviet Union actually gave the Jews their own autonomous oblast?
I did not know that.
And it's still around today. And nobody lives there. Because all the Jews went to Israel.
Rough. Hey, Dubs, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How come you don't stick around while you keep bouncing out of the fucking room?
I hate to say this, but the conversation wasn't mentally stimulating.
Well, Marcy was telling me I need to get my money back from the damn Muslims. So.
Yeah, I hear you. We all do.
I hear you. What do you think about the whole Israel thing? You think we should just push the Muslims out and say fuck them? What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Keep them around?
Keep them around, yeah.
Agree there. We need drama in our life, or we.
Sure, it makes. We need something to read in the newspapers, right?
J-Dubs, do you think the Palestinians should be given their own autonomous state?
No.
Okay. Is like the status quo with the Palestinians fine right now, do you think?
Is it fine?
Or like, does it, you know, I mean, it's obviously not fine. I mean, but like, what would be your ideal, you know, solution?
The ideal solution would probably be. Oof, it's very difficult because anything that will be done will be seen as an international.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, it's just anything that will happen it's an international crisis no matter what. But the best thing to do is to put the Palestinians in Jordan.
That actually makes sense.
But that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah. That actually just makes sense. Jordan would be accepting of that.
That's the original two-state solution, was Jordan and Israel.
Yeah, but I believe it was Yasser Arafat who didn't want that. He's
Sure.
the guy with the...
Sure, yeah.
I think it was
I got a question for you guys. Dubs, I think you'll be interested in this subject, but how do you feel about idiots like Eminem, the fucking dumb rapper who claiming he's embarrassed about being a white person? What do you think of that?
Well, if he is so embarrassed, then why don't he just hang himself in the coat closet? That's what I think.
I say pull off a reverse Michael Jackson.
Hostile activity.
Huh?
The threat.
I say pull off a reverse Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson had a skin condition, and that's well known. So he wasn't trying to look like a fucking blood elf. That's just what happened to this.
Blood elf.
Yeah, he looked like a blood elf of fucking World of Warcraft.
Got the fucking Illuminori Delana.
Yeah, towards the end, he ended up looking like an elf, but he was still a great musician.
The sun will go with you.
What else? What do you guys think about that? What do you think about all these motherfuckers that are talking about white people are the devil, they're mean, blah 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 blah, all this shit? What's your thoughts on it?
I say identity politics needs to die.
What I heard?
I think identity is important.
Huh?
I was talking to Tyrannosaurus. He said identity politics need to die.
Oh.
And I was like, I think a personal identity is a good thing to have.
I was just kidding. I think we should just round up all the white people and shove them into gas chambers.
Oof.
Bro.
Oof.
What do you think of that there, Dubs?
Oh, let's start with him.
You first. We'll hold the door for you. Alright.
I think I'll be an Uncle Tom.
Oh wow.
How do you know I'm white, by the way?
Doesn't matter. I would say you go first. No matter what, you lead the way. Lead by example.
But guess what? Guess what? I have a pretty extensive gas mask collection.
I have one, but like it's got asbestos and shit in it.
What kind is it?
It's a radio operator one from World War II. Like
Oh, nice.
you know, like the people with like the fucking headsets and shit, like the code and shit. Yeah, there's like a soft part where they put the microphone.
Wait, British?
Yes.
Okay.
1943.
That's pretty sweet.
I can't wear it. It will kill me if I do.
I'm guessing it's like really dusty and shit.
It is. It's terrible. It has asbestos in it. I have to like keep it like a bag. I want to get it cleaned at some point, but that might break it. It's old and shit.
Let me check my comments, see if we got any new shit on the videos.
Do we have any winners out there, Brent?
Let me get rid of this fucking loser that can't learn how to spell my name properly. Called me fucking bread Keane. Trash. What's up?
I was wondering, how did he spell it?
He spelled it bread, like in the fucking bread sandwich.
Queen? Oh yeah, isn't that something that Paul started?
I don't know, dude. You got your fucking head so far up his fucking dusty piece of trash ass. I'm starting to worry about you. Man, you seem to know every fucking detail and quote that these people have done. It's starting to
Maybe
make
we shouldn't reference the DP anymore.
Yeah, I don't mind like talking about for 5 minutes, but every time you open,
Isn't that against the rules? It says mute when you mic or get booted, and the second rule is DP fans are kicked on site.
Yeah, I'm not a DP.
I mean, if you wanna,
watch them occasionally.
Well, yeah, right. You seem to know every fucking quote they come up with. You seem to know what diapers their fucking mom bought them when they were
Let's not get
babies.
too hasty now. We're all
I'm not getting too fucking hasty. I'm just saying if you want to hang out with those fucking assholes and trade banana licks back and forth, they're over on Twitter.
They'd probably make me pay. I don't have that kind of money.
Hey, it costs you money to go listen to their bullshit. I hear you.
No.
Wait, do they like charge you for like fucking talking to them?
Yep.
Oh,
Are you serious?
Yeah, they charge these young atheists $100 fucking dollars.
Hello, megalomania. What the fuck? Who does that?
Well, they know that
they think they're special.
They know that their audience is stupid. It works.
That's narcissistic as shit, dude.
Yeah, could you imagine the Christian moms and dads out there? Their little teenager comes over and starts going through the phone. First gets the money, just like spend 5 minutes with these.
That's his birthday present. A half-an-hour conversation with a dejected stoner.
5 minutes usually. How long?
Okay.
5.
Too generous.
And they usually get called a fag or a piece of shit, and then they're all excited because they talk to their celebrity. There it is. These people got no self-esteem.
Yeah, enough of them guys. What else is relevant? New Star Wars. Anyone seen it?
I haven't watched it yet. J-Dubs did though.
What did J-Dubs watch?
Oh,
yeah, The Last Jedi. Yeah, that's about right. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I liked it. You plan on watching it, Brett?
Dubs keeps telling me it's worth a watch.
Wait for it to come out on fucking Blu-ray, then fucking steal it.
Oh hell yeah! It's not worth a fucking. It's all right. It's kind of mediocre.
5 seconds before insertion.
It's like,
I'll check it out whenever it comes out on tape. Yeah, I ain't putting no $50 fucking to go up.
Yeah, it's not that. Movies in general are like a big scam. 50 like quid to like go watch a goddamn film.
Oh, Jesus, it's not that much over here.
Watching normal television lately. I tried because there was shows. I figured, I want to wait till Hulu. And watching 5 minutes of a show and then watching another 5 minutes of advertisements every fucking time, I can't go back to normal TV anymore.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
Do it. And these companies and organizations out here, they're fucking bitching. They're like, we don't understand. It's like, don't want to watch TV anymore, and they don't want to go to the movie theaters. No shit. Because I gotta donate. I gotta donate fucking blood and body parts just to go see a fucking movie. Fuck that. But yeah.
I mean, TV is a dying like media now.
Knock knock.
They're all like moving their shit to the internet and making that a diluted, stagnant pool of pond scum. And like advertisements and. Ugh.
I don't know if I should continue to use Facebook, Twitter. All these days app that they put out, and yet they keep on it up there at the top like that.
Facebook sells all your data to like companies and shit. I don't know about Twitter though. I know Twitter like, lets you get easily hacked. I mean, I don't do social media. I haven't for like 10 years. I jump out of it, Brett. I just do your blog if I were you.
Well, anything else there, Mr. Dubs? What do you got for us?
No one gives a shit about blogs anymore.
It's about 11:30 over here, man. I'm about to hit the hay.
Well, people do care about blogs. I've got over 120,000 on my blog, so yeah, it is. I remember in the past I thought that blogs were fucking dead due to all this social media with image and visuals, but yeah, people, I get a lot of views all the fucking time.
Yeah,
I like it.
Gone.
Well, I just said it. I like it.
Okay. Like, I go to this one website all the time, like a little fandom I'm part of. It's called Daka Daka. That's a really good forum. It's brilliant on there. But yeah, I'm always on forums. Forums are no way near dead. It's like it's seen a bit of a resurgence now because it's become more hipster and more like appealing to outsiders and stuff.
We have been eliminated.
Well, looks like old Dubs took off again.
Are you gonna end the thing? Just wondering.
Yeah, we should probably call it here.
Alright, well, I'm gonna stop the broadcast, but I'll still hang out in the room for a moment.
Sick.
Alright, there we go.
It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Jesus. Go to bed.
Nah, I don't fucking sleep. Insomniac. I ain't got no social responsibilities right now. Been working for a year, shoveling shit all day. Literally shoveling shit all day.
We need to protect the biohazard container. Secure the room.
Oh man, I fucked up. I was meaning to go into the video and put it on private.
Oh, sorry about that.
Trying to just really private.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you get to see my Explaining God's Design to an Atheist video?
No.
I didn't know.
Okay. You get to see,
I'll check it out.
Alright.
Actually, do you have the link here, actually? I'll check it out right now.
Well, shit, don't you even watch the YouTube channel? You should be quite well versed in fucking BP nonsense.
Sorry?
Do you actually watch any of the YouTube videos from the channel?
From yours? Every now and again, yeah. I mainly just watch your streams. I was watching the other one earlier. The one that I missed the other day.
Well, I'm talking about the actual fucking videos. What's the last video you watched on the channel? Either one of you.
Oh, the one about atheism and autism.
What do you think about that?
I think that was sort of bullshit, but whatever, was pretty cool.
What do you think of it's bull science, right?
Sorry?
I'm talking to Mr. Tyrannosaurus. He didn't like my video called Autism Leads Atheism. That's I showed the science-based facts behind. He believed that a lot of people who are autistic are usually atheists.
I'm trying to remember the last video I watched of yours. Oh yeah, it was the one that you recommended to me. The one where you believe in a supernatural god. I liked the argument you had in that video. Because you remember, you told me you uploaded it about a week ago, and you told me to check it out, and I did.
Just checking what's going on in the news on Twitter.
What's going on Twitter?
What is Trump do this time?
And they're always accusing him of something.
I've not looked into anything Trump related for a long time. This has not come up. I don't really listen to a lot of news, to be honest. Just kind of secluded myself from like the news.
Op 4, last operator standing.
Alright, girls and boys.
Girls and boys. Right then.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Alright, I'll just hang up now.
Okay, can I call you?
See some of the what?
Can I call you?
No, I'll probably go to sleep.
Oh, dude, come on.
What?
Oh, come on. Ah,
Come
fine.
on, come
Go
on,
sleep
where?
then. Night. Good night. Have a good sleep.
Alright. Fat fucking manatee, yo. Now I can finally say he's a fat fucking mac and cheese eating fucking manatee. Oh Jesus. Oh. I wanna fuck Dawn right in her pussy hole and give Brett some bastard children. Oh Jesus, it feels so liberating. Just saying that. Let me just give one guy a good fuse. Just one good fuse. I just wanna see that animation right before we go to sleep. God damn it. Man, ejaculate into Dawn's little dust-ridden vagina and have the sperm fertilize the egg. And same with his daughter. I don't care how old she is. The mac and cheese eating motherfucker. I don't know what song I'm singing. Oh Jesus. Oh, my cup's full. I mean, empty. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm a degenerate atheist and I don't give a shit, boy. You know that hillbilly guy? I wanna fucking shoot him in the face and throw him in the ditch. Vaseline! Holy shit, Vaseline! This is the chin, I see. Yeah, I wanna shoot Brat in the head with my AK-12. Then kill all the male members of his family, and then use his members as bastions for.
To be totally honest, the only reason I'm playing terrorist hunt right now is because I'm too drunk to play multiplayer. So we'll see how this goes.
The future are white children, cause I'm a white motherfucker. Oh Jesus, fuck, shit, dick, nigga. Niggers.
What's the
Sorry,
button?
I did it hard R. All the swears I can, boy. Every single one. Let's go in alphabetical order. And skip none of them. Right after this, so we'll get a list of all the swear words I can. Just swears.
Swapping mags.
This is the gun that I used to kill Brett. The good old AK-12. And this is the gun I used to kill hillbilly. Because he's not worth my time. I'm gonna swamp eat the fat fucking man. Hey, baby. Oh shit, this pistol's got a buff. Jesus. Love it. Just wanna see the animation one time. Come on, just one more time. Just watch a movie before I go to sleep, maybe. Dude, I'm too fired up. I'm too fired up to go to sleep. Jesus. Yes, I'm a homosexual and a transsexual. I'm a transsexual atheist who, hates American values. Feels so good to be me. Feels so good, so liberating. I love it. Fuck America. And fuck Jesus Christ right in his pussy hole. The female to male transgender pussy hole. Jesus motherfucking Christ, boy. Oh yeah. Oh, take that. Oh, take that, Mr. Right now. Now you get to see the oh, here's the strip club, which I'll make Dorn perform at. And then while she's not here, she's in the kitchen room of Hotel Dostoevsky, serving up mac and cheese. Now let's look up all the swear words I can, boy. Let's look up list of swears. Now I'm gonna say them all. English swear words. Okay. Ass, ass, asshole, bastard, bitch, bollocks, child fuckers, Christ on the. Oh, that's an interesting one. Child fucker. If it doesn't show up with priest, then I'll be very disappointed. Priest. Nope. Okay. Swear word is a swear word? That's strange. Okay. Child fucker, Christ on a bike, Christ on a cracker, crap, cunt, damn, swear word, fuck, goddamn, God's damn. Hell, holy shit, Jesus, Jesus Christ, Jesus H. Christ, Jesus Harold Christ, Jesus wept, Jesus Mary and Joseph Judas Priest. Is that a band? Like the 80s? That shows nothing. Motherfucker, nigga, nigger, shit, what, nigga, really? Shit ass, son of a bitch, son of a motherless goat, son of a whore, sweet Jesus, twat. Oh, there has to be more than that. – 100 swear words. Cum bubble. Fuck trumpet. Knobhead. Piss flaps. Twat. Shitbag. Cock nose. Dickweed. Bitch tits. A lot of these are just compound. Spatter. Jizz. Cock. Bobby, cum dumpster, wanker, bollocks, twat waffle, thunder. That's the opposite of thundercock. Dickhead, shit pouch. Never heard of that one actually. Jizz stain, nonce, piss kidney, wazok, cum wipe, fanny, bend, piss wizard. Knob jockey, cock polo, dick weasel, quim, bowl bag, fuckwit, toss pot, cock womble, twat face, car, fuck nugget, cunt, knobber, get arsehole, fuck it, pillow, no, all these are compound. Shit magnet, bumhole, shite, scrote, cunt flaps, tosser, flang, bugger, slag. These are all British. Arse bastard, clunge, dick fucker, fanny flaps, wank face, shit house, knob chin, gulp shot, jizz breath, todger, piss arse, cock, douche canoe, nutsack, arsewipe, chat, clusterfuck, cockbow, arse clown, fox stick, pickerhead, rim job, schlong, cock knock, fox shittish, jizz muffin, shit spitter, knob bend, prick, bollock face, bell, shit knobbin, wing nut, fod, too much, butt munch. Oh shit, this is way too much on BuzzFeed. Jesus Christ, BuzzFeed. Clean your mouth with soap, man. I want to have sexual reassignment surgery so I can look like Ash. And then I can kill myself. Yeah, Tyra's gonna say Ella, right? But I can't kill myself with a bullet to the head or a noose. Why? Because she has no head. Hitbox boy. Dorn belongs on a breeding farm. Jesus Christ.